Hello everyone, and welcome to Living by the Law, the podcast discussing fictional worlds and how wondrous and ridiculous they are. My name is Matt, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Jude and Guy. Living by the Law is not currently sponsored. If you wish to sponsor us, go to the supermarket and purchase a selection of meat from different species. Combine these meats into an all-powerful abomination of protein. Cook your creation to perfection and devour it whole. While you absorb your meat, doze off into a food coma of thought and imagine your sponsorship offer. We will hear you. We always do.
This time on Living by the Law, we dive into the world of a corrupt empire, the heroic assassins that try to stop them, and the crazy magic items they use along the way. And keep note, you're gonna have to bring one into the apocalypse. This episode contains minor spoilers for the series Akame ga Kill. Enjoy.
Do you ever think about in this streaming world that we live in where a show can be taken off a streaming platform at any time, that we're going to lose a lot of the physical mediums and actually lose shows as a whole these days?
100%.
That has been a thing that has historically happened relatively consistently.
Why do you think I really support my dad continuing to collect DVDs and CDs, man?
It's an interesting world that we live in, especially not only in the fact of like streaming and shows and TV and movies and stuff like that. I think it's a wider problem of we're digitalizing everything.
Yep.
If we lose the ability or the way to use digital devices, history as a whole is going to be lost as well. We don't write things down as much anymore.
I understand and appreciate that, but at the same time, I would counterpoint by saying we know fuck all about what happened pre-most recording media, and like even into writing, there was still day-to-day things that got lost near constantly.
Yeah.
And I would say that that's just been a factor of human history, is that there are things we'll never know. We'll never know what the fuck Tesla was up to. He didn't write down half his shit.
That's actually kind of crazy. You think about it. We'll never know so much about
the
history.
vast majority of human history is lost.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
I will say it is also an interesting thought. I think that it would be very interesting to see how many lost hours of people's first streams there are. Because so many people are like, I'm going to be a streamer, and they do it once on Twitch for 3 hours, and then everything malfunctions, and then they give up.
Yeah,
I want to see a
I don't need to be called out like that. Okay?
Me too, man. I played Paper Mario for like one guy for an hour. Actually, no, I also played Minecraft. I did Minecraft speedrunning for like 2 hours, saying that I would beat every single seed that I played, except for the fact that I kept dying. Yeah. And then one person asked if they could be my moderator, and I said no, because Gemma was watching and she was my moderator.
Fair.
No one.
I feel that, and I can relate a personal story to it that happened really recently, where I wanted to watch a really particular episode of Doctor Who.
Oh.
From the David Tennant run.
Okay.
His first episode, the Christmas special, where the Sycorax come down and he's regenerating. That's like probably one of my all-time favorite episodes of Doctor Who.
Pajama
I fucking
Man.
love that episode.
Pajama Man, of course.
So good. So good. Sword fights at Sycorax, epic intro. This one's a fighting hand, some great quotes.
Incredible.
Love the episode, and I really wanted to watch it around like Christmas time this year when I had some time off work, or last year, I guess. All the streaming platforms that it used to be on that I was paying for, it had been removed from.
Okay.
Without going illegal, there was no way for me to watch this episode.
Oh,
It'd even be so hard to find it in shops as well.
Except for the fact that because my dad and I are big DVD people, I went to my dad's garage and we have all the Doctor Who box sets, and I was able to just get it out, play it on my computer, done. But I was like, damn, if we didn't have that box set there, I'd be really pissed off right now.
It's also a thing. I swear, computers are getting thinner and thinner, but they also, I would make it a little thicker just to have all the things, the
disk drive,
all like the things you connect. Like even like computers don't come with. My computer here doesn't have a HDMI.
Yeah,
so annoying. But also like the disk drive is the big thing. My PC doesn't have a disk drive. I have no way in my house to play a DVD.
Yeah. Wow, that's insane, dude.
Yeah.
I do, because I refuse to get rid of the disk drive that's in my PC.
Same,
every single new one I have has this rusty old piece of shit, like the yellowing plastic on the front gets slid into the disk drive. Because I'm not using those 3.5 So 3.5 hard drive bays anymore.
Yeah.
Because I've got SSDs and M2s, baby.
I just never bought one, and I'm just like, am I ever going to use it? Maybe, but I just can't be fucked.
I will say, once I am old enough and have enough money, I say old enough, I'm 23, I could physically do this, but I don't have the money for it. I will be the worst data hoarder of all time. I'm going to have a full-on NAS server in my house with like 100 terabytes, and I'm just going to store fucking everything. I intend fully on having all of it. Because the other thing as well, like legitimately thinking back to our childhood, and as much as it, unfortunately, you were away in France, this was the beginning of Jude and I's content creation journey, was playing Team Fortress 2 and Minecraft. And there are endless hours of that I had recorded on old computers. But the fact of the matter is video files and audio files are extremely heavy. Well, audio not so much, but video very heavy. And so just straight storage, I must have at some point deleted a lot of it. There are still a couple of them floating around that I thought were funny, but a large majority of that content is gone. And that is, it's not necessarily a loss to society. I'll be real. But it's disappointing for me when I'm like, I want to go back and watch stuff, and
it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that. I usually, I've been doing it since like, I think year 9, whenever you're using a work computer, like a school computer or a uni computer, I will, at the end of the semester, take everything that I worked on and put it into my Google Drive.
Yeah.
And then I have like folders where I have year 9 work, year 10 work, year 11 work. But I lost a bunch of my uni work. I don't know how. I think I left it on one of the computers half the semester, and then you lose access to those files.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so sad I lost that work. It would be nice to look back on it and see what it was.
When I went to uni, I could access all of my subjects the entire way until I graduated, and so I refused to pay for the content of these courses and not to have it. So I wrote a bot to scrape the entire of Canvas and download all of the lecture PDFs and PowerPoints. So if anyone's looking for a 4-year software engineering course, RMIT might kill me if I do that, actually.
So if you sign up to our $10,000
I will break the law for you. No, I won't.
You get a degree. That's
Legitimately, it was interesting because I did a technical interview the other day, and I was like, oh, I've forgotten about how to do dynamic programming properly. Did I get taught that? And I just Control F the whole thing, and I found a dynamic programming lecture, and I was like, oh, okay, this is explained well for beginners, funnily enough.
Yeah.
So talking of breaking the law and
I was going to say, how are you going to pivot out of this?
Talking of breaking the law and overarching powers, historical records do tend to get lost when big tumultuous times, changes of governments, uprisings, rebellions, empires falling.
He's cooking.
You lose a lot of data.
Uh-huh.
And that is what we're going to be talking about today as we dive into the anime manga series of Akame ga Kill.
Holy shit, my guy.
Which is
That's what he's going to say, and that's why
all about rebellions, uprisings, assassinations, corrupt government. Let's go, baby.
Woohoo! Woo! I was about to say, and that's why you should get NordVPN.
I'm so ready for that.
But before we
Not
dive
sponsored,
into
not
Akame ga Kill, our patrons.
Yay! I assume for once you've managed to get the page of patrons up who, so willingly support our work and love what we do, Matthew.
I think that we're not going to give Matt time. We're just going to keep talking. He's so devoted.
He's so ready. He's ready. He's looking at the screen panting like a dog, ready to get that ball, ready. Which is shouting out our patrons.
He just wants to read, but we're not letting him.
He just wants to read them out.
Thanks for running the clock, guys. Thank you so much to all of our patrons. We really appreciate you all. This Patreon does not sort it very easily for me. But
click the top thing.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Oh, thank you, Patreon.
You're a front-end software engineer and you don't. Oh no,
Who
man.
really knows how to use it? Who really knows how to use a table?
We're so fucked. Sorry, continue.
Well, thank you to our novice law keepers, Jacob from Norway.
Yay.
Mike.
Yay.
Tiani, our new patron.
Yay.
Love you, Tiani. And Uranian Games. Thank you even more to our prestige law keepers, Shadow and Josh. I believe this is maybe the first time we've talked about Josh, because possibly. I can't remember if Josh was in our thing last time. But I've been talking to Josh, and I have some information about him we can get into on this. And we'll jump into that in a second. But also, so those are our prestige law keepers. Thank you two.
Thank you.
And thank you supremely to our high law keeper,
Supreme Law,
Luke Newcomb. This is actually probably the first time we've recorded, and while Luke Newcomb's been our high law keeper.
We've ranted about him a lot in the minisodes, but no one listens to them, so...
Hey, we know that some Patreons do.
They do.
They're on Patreon, but yeah.
God bless them. But
Thank
if
you
you
so much.
want to listen to the minisodes where we talk about gaming news, check out Patreon. You also get to see studio recordings until we start releasing those on YouTube because we need to do that. And scripts and other bits and pieces.
Yeah, so you get access to that and chat. You can also, you do not have to be a Patreon for this, but you can also join our Discord, and we all have a good community thriving on there. But yeah, the minisode is the big bonus of the Patreon bonus. But let me get into it. Sorry, I should have been more prepared here, but we
just fucking waffled for like 10 minutes.
Let me find it. So, I asked him what he wanted to go by. And
I mean, don't dox
Josh
him.
from Maine.
Don't dox him.
He asked to go by Josh from Maine.
Josh from Maine.
Maine's a big place.
Maine's
Josh.
a big place.
The
Main
main
Josh.
Josh.
He's our main Josh.
Main Josh.
Maybe he actually did mean to be Main Josh.
I have a
He literally-
childhood friend called Josh, but he's fucking out of here. This is main Josh.
This is Main Josh.
Main Josh, actually, funny enough, has the same birthday as me. We found that out.
Let's fucking go.
Which is kind of funny.
That's kinda nice.
And he's a huge space fiction nerd. He loves Star Wars and Mass Effect.
yeah.
He has a tattoo of the mythosaur, which that's kind of cool. That's the thing from Star Wars. So that's
I
kind
was
of
going to
fun.
say I'm blanking.
That's kind of fun. And his favorite episodes includes Keys to the Kingdom.
No fucking way.
Absolutely
no fucking
not.
way.
In no world.
I didn't pay him to say that.
It's one of those fucking things. I've been listening to a lot of what's their name? Colin and Samir. They do like content creator interviews and like talk about stuff. And every single one of them, it's just like, what do you think about your old content? And they're like, shit, I hate all of it. And it's like, we're starting to get to that period of time where we can look back at some of the old videos and episodes and be like, it was good. It was good. It had something in it. I don't know if it's up to the
I
standards.
stand by it.
I respect you standing by it, to be honest. I still think I've got some good jokes in that episode.
Keys to the Kingdom, the Mistborn stuff, Warhammer 40k, and The Witcher.
Yeah.
And he liked the Ben 10 heist episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing he likes
I
you
was
and
gonna
me a
say,
lot. He really
none of my episodes in there.
Hey, we all have our taste.
No, I
It's all
respect
taste.
it. You know what? Someone who finds me annoying is probably pretty smart. I respect it.
But yeah, you can come Patreon today at Living by Law. Thank you so much. And
into the episode because
Into the
we're running the clock.
We
everybody.
are 20 minutes into the episode.
So,
she doesn't start talking.
We're gonna go. Akame Kill. Yeah.
Yahoo!
It was a manga published in March 2010, authored by Takiro and Toshiro Tetsuya. It received an anime adaptation that premiered on the 6th of July 2014 and ended on the 14th of December the same year. Some background on it. Akame Kill follows the story of Tatsumi, a young and extremely competent fighter who sets off with his two childhood friends to make money to send back to their small village. Doesn't sound familiar at all.
Pretty standard.
Tatsumi travels to the capital city of the empire to join the military in hopes of a better life. However, he soon finds out that the capital is extremely corrupt. After the torturous death of his friends at the hands of a noble family,
Hello?
Tatsumi meets Night Raid, a group of rogue assassins aiming to take down the capital's government. Determined to ensure no one else suffers at the hands of the wicked capital elite, Tatsumi joins Night Raid and the greater rebellion that they represent and sets off to fight the nefarious empire.
How many fucking episodes did it take him to pivot from, ooh, I need to make some money to take down the empire?
That's the first half of the first episode.
We love anime. No fucking hesitation. Straight
yeah.
into the plot.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of this.
It's not a very it's probably like the one non-entry level anime that I've watched, but it's also, so I said I was going to do 3 animes. This is the middle one. We did Tokyo Ghoul last time we were with me. We've got this one, then we've got one more to come. This one is probably, in terms of like how the story plays, how it presents itself, how it looks to the visuals, it's probably the most anime one. Like you get a lot of the like body jiggle physics happening,
Fan servicey
yeah. Dynamic jiggles, random cat-eared people for no apparent reason, weird like big igu eyes, tears, that sort of.
Cannot
a lot of
believe
that
that you
stuff.
say for no reason. It's called culture, Dude.
It is. I'm sorry.
Called fucking culture.
You're right. It is probably the most anime of the 3 that I'll be talking about.
Entirely fair.
However, it is extraordinarily violent, extraordinarily graphic from a violence perspective, and really, it's a fun story.
Have you seen the story, guy?
Nope.
Okay.
Yep, it's going to be great. You guys have no idea what's going on. I have a bit of a soft spot for this series, but I'm not sure how popular it really is, especially as I've looked into it more and researched for this episode. I found so many negative reviews for the anime, and I was like, huh, cool. The anime in particular, I don't know. I get it, but I don't know. But ultimately, it does a really good job of giving you a bunch of characters that you can really get behind and enjoy as like a fellowship sort of cast. You can really get to know them, really get to care about them. They have really well thought out, really well presented backstories, and then it makes you terrified and feel like none of them are safe, which they really are not. Scratches a similar itch to that, like anyone can die sort of scene in like your Game of Thrones and stuff, or like if someone should probably die, they do die. They don't just miraculously survive or pull through.
Hey. That can be really good for the narrative of a story sometimes.
It can be. And that's I really enjoy that kind of storytelling. It isn't an easy thing, but it's enjoyable. However, the troubling thing about this series for our show is that the world and the world building is, to be honest, painfully basic and kind of boring. But there is a really fun part of the series that I think we can focus in on and enjoy.
Lovely.
But first, a quick snapshot of the world, setting-wise.
Absolutely.
Let's do this.
Let's dive in.
But first, the world. The story is set in a fantasy world consisting of several countries, the most prominent being the Empire.
The Empire.
I know, right? The world spans many climatic zones. Jesus Christ. Many climatic zones, from deserts, exotic islands, to tundra, to random islands and archipelagos. You name it, it's in this world probably. Don't worry about
I
it.
already got comments on that pronunciation. I'm going to go crazy. Archipelagos.
That's what I said, isn't it?
No, you said archipelagios.
Oh, whoops.
No, it's fine.
Actually, archipelagios.
I'm going to kill you.
Geodes. Geodudes.
You have no right talking about pronunciation.
Normally my pronunciation's great.
No, it's great.
And has different landscapes, mountain ranges, seeming to be quite common because I guess they're a cool place to put fights. And it is home to many species of the most inventively named fantasy creature ever. You ready?
I'm so ready.
Danger beasts.
Danger beast?
Danger beasts.
A beast full of danger?
That sounds like a riff-off of Pokemon. Go
So-
catch your danger beasts.
Danger beasts. The final thing about this as well, before I go into Danger Beasts, it is a fantasy setting that it pretends to be like a medieval fantasy setting, but it feels like a D&D setting, I think is the best way I can put it, because like you'll see the capital and the empire, and there'll be guards in like, you know, pike and shot kind of era, like Renaissance-ish armor and big halberds. But then a character will just have like a semi-automatic rifle for some reason.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
So it's a little bit difficult to
It's
say.
League of Legends.
It's League of Legends-y. Yeah, very
Do
much
we have
so.
a set time period?
Nope.
Probably not. But also, most of the time when you're in an area, it looks consistent, but occasionally someone's just got a gun.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. So Danger Beasts.
Uh-huh.
Danger Beasts are fearsome creatures in this world. Danger Beasts really are anything. We see things from colossal dragons, huge flying manta rays, and even just a really big toad.
Do they have...
It's Pokemon.
It's just Pokemon. It's just Digimon.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
No.
No, pocket. No, what I'm thinking of pocket beasts is what I was actually meaning to say, which I think that's another thing.
Digimon are weird. We're not going to Digimon.
No. Whatever the case, they are extremely hostile and will attack any human who wanders into their territory.
Is there like a consistent like linking factor to Danger Beast? Do they drop perhaps gold or XP?
We'll get to it.
Is this like... It's kind of like Monster Hunter? In that sense, where you kind of like go into the area where that beast is and you try and beat it?
That's kind of the back. It feels like the background of this world, which I'll keep going.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Because I'll probably answer your question and then confuse myself when I read the same thing I've just said.
That's totally
But dude, we need to be able to clip
Danger
this for
Beasts.
TikTok.
Danger beasts form a key part of the world building in the story, as the need to survive against and fight these terrifying beasts is what lets us have some extraordinarily powerful fighters in the world. Take the main character, Tatsumi, his intro to the story is rushing to the aid of a supply wagon that's under attack from an earth dragon. He rushes in and quite easily slices the dragon apart with like 3 strokes of his sword.
Okay. Sounds like there's not a lot of danger in that beast.
Well, it's more just showing that we see the danger beast be terrifying to all the other people, and then he gets to come in as like the epic hero.
It's, very Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, where it's like the villagers have no fucking chance. They got 5 HP and 10 armor.
100%.
Adventurer, it's like a bard, and they're like...
They range from class 4 to 1, then special class, and then super class. An earth dragon, which... I mean, you can kind of picture in your head an earth dragon, I guess. Think what it would probably look like. You're probably right.
Nice.
An earth dragon would sit somewhere around class 1, while getting into super class would be something like a special dragon lord or demonic creatures, that kind of thing. The most powerful danger beasts are categorized as superclass, and these beasts are known to be extremely dangerous. It is unknown which criteria need to be fulfilled by a danger beast to be placed into this category, but it can be assumed that superclass danger beasts are very rare, and that many were killed because of the threat they posed.
Yeah, I know what they put in class. Danger.
Yep.
Danger.
Yep.
And the other ones, I want to reclassify. The other ones are actually called not so danger beasts.
And on this note, the most powerful danger beasts that were hunted down, and they were given a new purpose. Some of their body parts have been utilized for the creation of numerous special artifacts, using qualities that the danger beasts had in life to imbue pieces of equipment with unique powers.
Ooh.
And this brings us to the really cool part about this whole series.
Oh, there's a D&D mechanic in there somewhere.
Magic items, unique tools, or as they're called in this setting, Imperial Arms.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like this. I see why you covered this.
I do like worlds that use a very unique part of the world to enhance the technology or magic system of the world.
Oh, yeah. So this is what you get from killing the danger beasts. They turn them into like these cool weapons and stuff. I will put in here, just because it feels appropriate, there is definitely a very... I have not really had the chance to research into it enough if it is a deliberate thing or if it's a translation thing. Go figure, I'm not a big anime person, so whenever I watch it, it's dub. I'm not like a sub kind of person. And they do, like, when they're having their training montages or they're going to fight some beasts to, like, practice and stuff, or words like, I need to level up a bit more, do come into the script. So I do kind of wonder if it is deliberately meant to feel very D&D/gamey. I don't know. It could be a translation thing. I don't know. It's just in there.
Yeah, that's what I say when I go to the gym. Actually,
yeah,
I'm just trying to level up a bit more than the next weight.
That's fair.
I think because that is, I mean, an interesting thing we haven't really touched on with much things. Like anime can be affected by translation things because, like, if someone in the thing says, "I need more experience," the translator can interpret that as, "Oh, this should be interpreted in like a video game way." It's like, not necessarily
exactly.
But that's interesting.
In the same way, with as much as in the English version, danger beasts sounds real janky and dorky. The original version could be something different.
Probably sounds so sick in Japanese.
Yeah. Don't Google it now.
I want to Google.
Don't Google it now.
You won't be able to pronounce
Google it now.
We know we're not good at pronouncing
Don't Google
words.
it. Don't Google it in my episode. Put it away.
I'm finding what the name in Japanese. I could have pronounced it for you.
No.
Add it up.
We'll keep going.
You're a rat. No tangents allowed. No things for TikTok.
No, we don't like TikTok.
I cry.
Fucking get it.
It's too late now. Go on.
It's too late. We're bitten.
The bit has been bought. The bit isn't bought.
Akame ga Kill Danger Beast is called King Kikenshu. Danger Species. Kikenshu. Nice. Okay. That is a bit smoother than Danger Beast.
Anyway, so pretty much every character that matters in the show has one of these weapons, tools, whatever you want to call them. And they function sort of like a magic system in of themselves. What we're going to do, and the actual point of this episode, because like I say, the world's basic, the beasts are just pictured generic Dungeons and Dragons kind of beasts. You'll probably get pretty close in the ballpark. But the magic items are really cool and interesting. So we're going to go through a bunch of them. I'm going to tell you about them. Then when we get to the end of them, I'll see how we go time-wise, where I'll decide to stop listing some. And when we get to a certain point, I will ask you 3 questions that I want you to be thinking about the whole time that I'm describing these magic items. One of them, you will have to say, is the one that you would want to bring into the zombie apocalypse. One of them is what you would want to bring into the Hunger Games. And one of them is what you would want in everyday life.
So PvE, PvP, and convenience.
Pretty much.
Nice.
So, a bit of background before we dive into them. Question?
My question is just about the world.
Sure.
But before we get off that,
Sure.
are there like a lot of different countries? Is this like
Yeah, like I
structure?
said, there's a few different countries.
So there's different countries. Is the main thing about the world is just like the heroes are defending from these beasts? Is that kind of the main vibe? Or just going out to hunt them is like a fun thing to do?
It's just a background thing in the world.
So there's not even shit going on, really. This is a background thing.
Well, like I said, the whole point is that it's assassins trying to topple
That's
the
fair.
empire.
That's fair.
That's the premise of the show.
That's fair.
The Danger Beasts are just a part of the world.
Oh, fair enough.
They're an excuse to have people good at fighting because, this person must have survived in this remote village where a dragon can swoop down, so they must be a good fighter.
That's fair.
It's an excuse to have everyone be like a level 8 fighter in a village, you know? That's literally it. Like I say, it's a pretty basic world building.
Makes sense.
So, what is an Imperial arm? They are extremely rare, and only the strongest of warriors can wield them. Some have the appearance of equipment or weapons, while others appear to be literally living creatures. It is implied that a form of magic was used to create them. The arms were created on the instruction of the first emperor of the empire, who feared that the empire he had spent his life founding would eventually fall. To prevent this, he gathered many materials and hired many scientists throughout the world to make strong weapons and defenses. There were 48 imperial arms in all, but almost half of them were lost during a civil war about 5 centuries before the start of the story.
God damn it. Do we find any of them, or is that just a background, like, we don't know where the fuck they are?
It gives them an excuse to make one randomly turn up when they wanted to.
Let's go.
We love that.
Many more arms have been seen to be destroyed both during, before, and after the main story. As such, we have no idea how many of the original 48 remain. Once again, convenient excuses.
So only these are the only magic items were these royal arms. There's no other like a random guy can't make a magic item out of an earth dragon that he killed.
For the sake of this episode, correct.
Okay. They're all these are all like really powerful because they're from the mythic beasts and like
They are from the superclass.
superclass.
I cannot tell you how hard I am cooking on an idea for a campaign done a magic item mechanic in my head. It's gonna be a big machine that you put them into and like squash them, and it's gonna spit out a magic item or something like that. Because you can't make it. You got to go to a place to do it.
Yeah, it's not even like a forge. It's literally like a garbage disposal.
Yeah, it's a
like
press.
You know those things that make like the square out of like a bunch of like a tin.
I'll be
Something like that.
100% honest. The thing that's in my head right now is Luigi's Mansion. There's a thing where you like get rid of ghost paintings, and there's like a full machine that it goes through where it like sucks them out and then puts them in like a washing machine and then does all the rest of it and then eventually spits out a painting with the ghost in it. And that's what I'm cooking.
Yeah, fair.
That reminds me of those machines that they sometimes have at supermarkets where you can buy like chopped pineapple. Where it comes out of, you put the pineapple in and you press the button.
It's a
and
doohickey.
it chops it up.
It's a
Yeah,
doohickey.
yeah.
It's a doohickey.
We
Yeah.
love a doohickey.
I'll do you a hickey.
God damn.
ooh.
Wish you would.
So, as said, many of the Imperial arms were created from the remains of danger beasts that had unique powers, imbuing them with special abilities, which sort of line up with what the beast did in life, maybe. We'll get into it. Well, look, they do until they don't, you know?
How many times does a dragon scale turn into titty armor?
There's not too much titty armor,
No. What's the fucking point?
but it'll be one of those
Like
things where it's like, yes, this demon dragon lets you create this sick armor. This one's a gun.
My friend over there, he killed the elite world ender. His ring allows him to walk on water. We don't fucking know why.
Yep. It's the Jesus ring. It sounded cool.
So, many weapons and armor-type Imperial arms were forged using a rare metal called orichalcum, which is in this world. I think it's a pretty classic
Vibranium.
Yeah, it's the vibranium, this setting. In terms of what they actually do, arms are not limited to one ability. Some are known to have secret powers that have yet to be discovered, and some have powers that are lost to history, meaning that our plucky protagonists and characters can discover powers through the items as they find them. And also there's a lot of they don't so much have a set ability as much as it can do this thing, and this person establishes this technique as a power of the item.
Oh, okay.
So like I say,
Okay.
they start to feel very much more like individual magic systems to themselves, but
Wow, I like that. That's cool.
yeah.
So wait, so they have like an energy of magic, and the person decides what they can do.
Can I take a swing? Mm-hmm. So, like, a fire dragon would give you, like, a fire weapon, but that's not strictly has, like, one fire ability. It just lets you use it. You can do, like, the flame strike, but then this guy can do, like, fireball. Huh?
Yeah, kind
So
of.
you tap into like the element of fire for that sense.
If that was a particular item, it would be more, this item gives me control over fire. One of the fighting styles they might do is, like, fire tornado. The magic item doesn't let them do a fire tornado, but that's a technique they've chosen to create
Hell
with
yeah.
it through just
Hell
like their
yeah.
mastery of learning.
Yeah, that
that.
makes sense.
That's really cool.
So it gives a lot of like individuality to the items. Some of them more so than others, as we'll get to. But some of them have more vague powers where the person's kind of created this particular moveset.
I also feel like, though, that's really good creatively because it gives you the ability to do more with less. Because, like, it's like, oh, this weapon's really cool, but imagine what it'd be like if this guy wielded it.
Yeah, because
100%.
it's always that thought of like, and when you do a magic item system, you want to see how you want to go deep into a system more than you want to go wide. So like, but like, it's also very very similar to Skullduggery Pleasant in the fact that. In the series itself, wind magic is used for walls and pushing and stuff like that. But Skullduggery himself teaches himself how to fly with it. So it's like you're still controlling wind. But you're doing something fucking new.
Love
Something that people don't do. Yeah.
Flexibility in the magic system.
So while the Imperial Arms give their users amazing powers, they are not almighty. They have a couple of rules, which we will come to in a second. But there is one final thing that I will say on them. The artifacts are partially alive, some of them having more sentience than others. In this example, where even if someone is strong enough physically to take the toll of wielding an Imperial Arm, which it does take a lot of physical constitution to take this to use these items. Sometimes the items do reject someone that's trying to bond to it. You can consider it kind of like a D&D attunement thing where you aren't just having to attune to the item, you're having to attune to it and it has to want you to attune to it.
Is it a fact that it's like, oh, I'm a fighter, that person's a cleric, or like I don't have enough experience, and when they go and kill some more dragons, they come back to the magic item and goes, oh, you're cool now?
No, generally it's more about the personality of the person matching up with the item.
Okay, cool.
The way that they played in the show, which I think is quite interesting, usually a user's first impression of when they behold the artifact gives an indication of how compatible they are. So if someone sees an item the first time and is immediately kind of stricken with it, they would probably be able to bond it, whereas if it doesn't stand out to them much at first, then...
You're going to have passion for it. They respect passion.
Exactly.
The one chooses the wizard, Harry.
It is a lot like that.
Is it like it's hard to find a user for it, like it's 1 out of like 100, or is it like 50-50?
You do, so as I said, they are, ultimately it's all through the lens of an assassin group trying to fight back against this empire.
Yeah, that's fair.
So the way that we kind of see it happen, it's a pretty funny scene, but whatever. When the item rejects you, it doesn't necessarily, it can make you feel dizzy, nauseous, kind of sick, but also it can just kind of work, but in a way you may not want it to work.
Oh, cool.
So for example, I'll finish this scene. So they managed to kill this guy in the Empire pretty early on, and he has an Imperial arm, and our main character, who has, at this stage of the story, hasn't bonded one yet, and they're like, oh great, we have an item we can give you. And this one has this really, it's like a psionic eye thing that lets you like see into someone's thoughts ahead of you, so you can kind of predict their fighting style. Naturally, because they want to show us what happens when it rejects you, it doesn't work with him, and then all of a sudden, all the people he's looking at, he sees them in their underwear.
I fucking knew it. I knew it. That's exactly why I put my head in my hand. I'm like, this is going to be some perverted shit.
Of course it is.
Fucking damn it.
And then what they do is they send it to the rebellion and go, it's not working for our assassin group, but we'll send it to the rebellion army, and hopefully someone there will be able to bond it.
Someone will figure this shit out.
There was someone there to start seeing everyone in their fucking underwear.
Yeah.
It's, that makes sense, though, because it's very, very much like the wand then, because the wands, when you pick up a wand, it's not like it doesn't work. It still works, just doesn't work the way you want it to work.
Exactly. So as well on this, we have biological artifacts, which we'll get to one of them as well, which are literally living creatures. And they are shown to be capable of regenerating themselves after serious damage, but they are not indestructible. They have a thing called a core, which we'll get to when we talk about one of the biological artifacts. And if the core is destroyed, the artifact is also destroyed, meaning that the biological ones are sort of... Not to say they're easy to beat in a fight, but they're probably the easiest artifact to destroy, because ultimately if you can cut through them enough to find their core, you just have to shatter the core and they're gone.
Ultimately, it is just killing a thing.
It is just killing a thing, finding its core, shattering it.
Are they sentient?
They are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But if given a command, interesting thing with the biological ones, if they are given a command by their wielder and then their wielder dies, they don't just shut down, they keep doing their last command until you stop them.
Blitzcrank, let's go.
Yep, pretty much.
So they can work on their own. That's great.
Yeah.
You said all the magic items were sentient to a small degree at least, right?
Yeah, they all have
Okay, I missed that fucking line. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's why the compatibility is a big deal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
So some of the arms do have limitations on their uses, and like overheating can be a thing, depending on the item.
You ran out of charges.
Yeah, there is.
Hey, my AK-47 runs out of bullets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not wrong.
So, for example, a powerful gun might excessively overheat if you use it too much. But some of the more sentient ones, rather, if they start to be overused, will slowly fuse with the user and start to turn them into the original beast that they were created from. So, like, if you have
That's
great.
demonic piece of armor that you keep overusing, you might start to see yourself turning into the demon that it was cast from originally.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Very cool visuals.
I was just thinking about it. It happens so much in video games that guns overheat
Yep.
and you have to like wait for it to cool down. I was just looking at, is that a real thing in real life? And apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I love us having no fucking idea how guns
Then
work.
the other thing with them, so before we get into a couple of them, we're nearly there. Trump cards. So several of the Imperial arms are shown to have a hidden ability, often referred to in the show as a trump card. It is said that not all Imperial arms have a trump card. However, certain users can develop these abilities themselves, which kind of then makes you think, is it really a trump card or is it just a technique that you unlocked? Anyway, some of them are just more clear than others. Usually these moves are very powerful but last resorts, as they will, not always, but often result in overheating or temporarily stopping the weapon from functioning. Very classic kind of using...
I'm the best weapon. You know, I walk into a room and there's no better weapon than me.
Okay, we're going to move on from that.
Hey, I agree with you this time.
Yeah.
Called it a trump card.
Okay.
I so we're moving on. Finally,
Come on.
fuck me.
Disgusting.
Finally, there are two rules for these magic items in this series. One, if two Imperial Arms users engage in battle with killing intent, one of them must die.
Oh.
Interest like is it a law?
We don't know specifically if it's part of the magic of crafting them, but it is a rule that is established very early on, and it meets every single time that a fight happens in the show. Like I say, this is very much one of those shows where anyone can die.
It's like a duel, but they took out the surrender part.
Yep.
Interesting.
And secondly, every person can only wield a single Imperial Arms at once, as they require a considerable amount of mental and physical strength to be controlled. If, according to some sources in the show, if one were to use two at the same time, they may get away with it for a short period of time, but they would be destroyed in the process. And the final thing as well, there is no Imperial Arm that can bring back the dead, we are told.
Good.
Apart from one that maybe kind of does, but it's
Fucking
complicated.
damn it, dude.
Those two rules, however, are followed.
Is one of the danger beast necromancer?
One of the two rules we're following, but we're ignoring one of the rules.
No, I'm saying that was the third one that didn't really count. That's why I said it separately.
Okay.
The other two rules, the ones that actually are followed. So we're going to dive into some of them. I'm going to send you to a link.
Yahoo! I love links.
Yep. And you will immediately see a picture of the first
That's
item.
a whole guy.
That is a whole guy, huh?
We will link this in the description
Yep.
of the Spotify.
So the first one that you're seeing there is Thunder God's Rage, Adramelech.
Ooh.
Adramelic was an elemental type weapon in the form of 2 huge gauntlets that gave its user the ability to create, shape, and manipulate electricity. Adramelic was an artifact that gave the user this control, and the user could use lightning as a weapon both in offense and defense. Its wielder was able to create a large electrical orb that could be shot as a projectile, as well as various beams of electricity. Adramelic could also be used in the manipulating the weather. With the use of this artifact, we see it could generate a thunderstorm and call forth lightning to strike down a foe. The user has also shown the ability to float in midair and fly by charging themselves with electricity. Adramelic was also fitted with a scope to use with its trump card, Solid Shooter, and a charge meter to see how much electricity was coursing through it. I'm going to spitfire through the techniques and abilities of this, and then you guys can give some thoughts on it.
Go for it.
So the techniques that we see, lightning crash. After manipulating the weather to create a thunderstorm, the user summons charged lightning from the sky towards their target. This ability is strong enough to kill a high-class danger beast easily. So think of it like you summon lightning, you point to the dragon, you go, "Argh!" and then a lightning strike just kills the dragon.
God smites them for their sins.
Pretty much. Advent of the Thunder Emperor. By charging high amounts of energy, the user manipulates the weather to summon several pillars of lightning which pierce the earth through earth instantly.
Okay, that's
So
the
the
same
first
thing
one, but more
twice.
again.
That's the
Yeah.
Same thing, but in a
multiple
field.
But more of them, yes.
What do you mean? That's why is that a separate ability?
And then the flight part of it's a technique. The trump card is called Solid Shooter. By charging huge amounts of electricity, electrical energy rather, the user fires a powerful black-coloured electrical beam cracking through even stone walls of a castle. So he basically draws in a whole bunch of lightning and goes, pew, and it's a big laser beam of lightning.
Black lightning. You know, how many series actually put black lightning? You know, it's such a common thing that comes, oh, you have more
cool
powerful
visual.
lightning, it's black lightning.
It's a cool visual.
I'll also say it's because it doesn't make fucking sense. Because it doesn't make sense scientifically.
But it looks sick as well.
I don't give a shit. It's
So-
electrical energy. It can only output light. It cannot absorb light.
The
I
other
ask?
thing on this, from a defensive point of view, so obviously big lightning powers, big whoop. It is also a huge pair of gauntlets made out of being an artifact that you can't really break easily. So they are a very good defensive weapon, as they are basically big portable shields that you can just use to block attacks.
very easy to bring around.
Yep.
And you're like, it's very hard to take it off someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So thoughts on the Adramel?
All right. Damage-wise, sick. Function-wise, flight. Note that down for the day-to-day usage.
Note that what? I need a note for the notes.
Oh, I missed one very important thing here, but you keep going for now.
My note for the notes
Yep.
is how fast is the flight?
We don't have an exact. No, it's a good question.
It's just funny imagining this guy like, ultimate lightning flight power.
Yeah. Hey, some people fly really slowly.
Quite. The only metric we get from a lot of things on wikis and in the show is, and I quote, able to kill a danger beast, or in this case, able to chase down a danger beast. So, who knows? But presumably, if there is a dragon flying, he could chase down a dragon with these gauntlets.
Relatively fast.
Relatively fast.
So it's not hovering. It's flying.
It's got some speed to it.
He's got a flight speed. He's not got a hover.
It is funny. That reminds me of a in one of the fantasy books I read where it said you have to calculate the speed of an angry wyvern.
My question, real quick, that I should have done at the start, and I'll do for the next one probably. Could you guys describe the gauntlets this man is wearing?
I was about to, in fact.
Yeah.
Would you like to?
Would you like to?
I'll take one. You take the other.
Yeah, so the right one is...
Keep on.
It's a metal gauntlet made of seemingly on the bottom a sort of normal silver-coloured metal, but clasped over the top is sort of these arm sheaths made of a slightly more gold metal with black diamonds with dots in the middle, almost appearing like butterfly eyes. Sorry, I'm only describing the right one. So the right one has specifically got that, and then it's got like a little sensor on the arm. It looks like that might be the lightning.
That's the charge meter.
Yep,
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
And it's got like the whole arm, and then it's got spikes going backwards in like cosmetic sort of flare out. But I could imagine that'd be useful to give a bit more shield area. With a little bit of gold accent on the knuckles as well. But otherwise, a fairly standard fantasy gauntlet.
Yeah.
and the left one looks exactly the fucking same.
It's all right, Matt. You can describe the next item.
I wanted to do that.
I know. So yeah, that's
Very
Adramelic.
good, very good description.
Yeah. We'll keep going on to the next one. If you want to scroll.
Honestly, the gauntlets just look like gloves. They're not huge.
they're not super
all the-
overwhelming.
all
It
the-
is,
the
I will
thickness is in
say,
the arm.
this dude is really big, which makes the gauntlets not look.
that would help.
Sorry. It looks bigger. They're actually big. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just imagining that now that a person is like half his height. And then all of us like,
Can I be honest? Pretty much.
yes! This guy's fucked.
Okay, never mind. In reference to the dude.
You can't give a big man as a scale then.
Okay,
Well, I was
big gauntlets.
They're big.
They must be big, fuck.
If you guys would like to scroll, I will move on to the next item.
I'm scared.
They'd be huge. They barely fit on his arm.
Woman.
This is
Calm down, guys.
No, but like, okay. So we've just gone from a fantasy guy in knight armor to pink-haired, sort of teenage-looking girl in sort of like a white dress. Like, she looks fairly modern, I would say, in just kind of a standard sort of way.
Remember when I said the setting of this one's really weird?
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I apologize to the listener for yelling woman.
You missed the highlight of this image. It's a normal girl just standing there with a fucking gun.
I was gonna let Jude
Yeah.
describe it.
So this is the next piece called Roman Artillery Pumpkin. So a lot of them have, as you'll see, so like the first one being called Thunder God's Rage, Adramelic. Adramelic's the name, but they have like a full title, all of them.
Okay.
So this
we love
one's
that.
title is Roman Artillery, but its individual name is Pumpkin, because let me shoot pumpkin, guys. It's fun. How would you like to describe Pumpkin to us, Matthew?
So we see again a little girl. Again, you've given us a person who probably isn't full height for scale.
It's what the anime gives you.
For scale, but she has just on her arm, just casually, a gun the height of her, just slung over her arm. That looks like it's a dark grey metallic piece with what looks like the very end is kind of like a handle, but look, it kind of looks like on a Nerf gun. You know, the thing that you pull back on a
big
Nerf
stock.
on a Nerf gun that you do use, and then the middle just looks like a normal kind of rifle, and the end, the tip kind of thing looks like the rifle, the standard rifle. I can't remember what it's called from Halo.
Oh yeah.
I will say an asterisk to that is that the middle part does look like a normal gun in the handle, the part that she's holding. The part above the handle, like the actual gun body, is about 3 times to 4 times the girth of a standard rifle.
Yeah, it is also it's fucking massive. I want to highlight
It's
that.
all barrel, baby.
It is. So Pumpkin is a rifle type artifact. It has a case with many different parts in it, which could be used to be detached and attached to modify how Pumpkin fires. You're going to love this next sentence.
Oh, I love that.
Pumpkin uses spiritual energy as its ammunition and fires it in concentrated shockwave blasts.
Oh, I love it.
Sorry.
One of its main properties is that its power and range increases in proportion to the level of danger its user is in.
Okay.
The more danger that she is in, the more powerful her gun shoots.
It's a vibe gun.
It is interesting.
Quick pause. What did you say the ammunition was?
Spiritual energy.
Spiritual energy. Now, is that in a like a ghost sense, or is that in like a clerical sense? Because if this is a cleric sniper rifle, I'm going to lose my shit.
Not really specified. All that we know is the reason it's spiritual energy is because no ammunition is needed to load Pumpkin. It is simply it just shoots. It just shoots energy. And its energy increases and its strength increases based on how much danger the user is in.
When it shoots, are they bullets or like a laser?
It's more like a laser.
Okay, because I'm looking here. She uses the power of love, the power of friendship. You know,
She does.
her will.
Yeah.
It is.
I
It's
know.
more. It's clerical. Let's say it's cleric. So I'll quickly run through the back end of this.
Can I just say it's
Yeah.
a pure vibe gun?
It is literally a vibe
The more
gun.
panicky she is, the more danger she's in.
Yep.
The gun goes, oh fuck.
Literally.
Don't jump scare this girl.
Oh yeah. So it is capable of firing rapid fire burst shots and it also has a scope for sniping. So the interchangeable parts, which are kind of the techniques for this one, if you will, because at the end of the day, it's just a gun. It's kind of hard to have techniques when it's a gun.
The technique is 360 no scope, dude.
Yeah. It has a long barrel attachment for increased power. It has a sniper barrel for distance. It has a machine gun barrel for multi-shot. And in long barrel mode, Pumpkin can be used as a lethal melee weapon, as shown when its wielder is able to cut down a foe that got too close. So it has like a sharp edge on the long barrel.
Oh, it does. I can see that now.
Put bayonet.
Fix bayonets, boys. We're going over. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Up and over. Ding, 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 ding. Yep.
Bayonet.
Yes.
Okay.
She did infantry training. They still
true.
teach you how to use a bayonet.
It's true.
It's kind of fun.
So, the trump card of Pumpkin is called High Output Blast Blade.
More gun. It's called more gun.
Yeah. Pumpkin's trump card is a blasting beam so overwhelmingly strong that it could act like a giant blade cutting anything in its path, but it could only use this feature in the long barrel mode. This power is unleashed according to how passionate the emotions of the user are in, but it does overheat the gun, rendering it unusable for a time.
That's good. Okay.
So basically, she has to be in simultaneously an incredibly passionate mindset and have the right attachment on, and then she unlocks this ability.
Can this passion be any emotion?
It kind of yes.
She's really happy you die really quickly.
Yeah.
I also like it's basically Hyper Beam from
Yeah.
Pokemon.
It like visually in the show, it looks like Hyper Beam.
And then you have 1 turn to recharge.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, so
you know when you describe a laser that cuts through things like a sword, that's like describing a bullet that pierces through things like I'm throwing a dagger really fast. Like
pretty much.
it's just a gun.
It's just a gun.
Absolutely correct.
Well, in the same way that, like, generally speaking, if someone's shooting an assault rifle at you, or even maybe a basic lasery gun, and you stand behind, like, a reinforced steel wall, you're probably fine.
Just a basic lasery gun.
Just a basic laser gun.
This is just going to go through that if you use this mode. That's the point.
Absolutely.
I have a couple questions.
Yep. Go right ahead.
So many questions. Firstly, so she doesn't have to work out how to use a gun at all. That came with all the attachments.
Oh, yeah, she had to learn a long time how to use it. It took a long time.
But how do you
How
learn
long?
how to
She's not that
attach
old.
you couldn't attach the machine gun area? Or it's like, is it like the gun like she meddles with the gun a little bit and switches? 'Cause I can't see any attachments on her.
No, the attachments are, like, either on or just not present in that photo.
Okay, fair enough.
But where
We
would
don't-
you keep them usually?
She have like
In the magic world of plot
For
convenience,
sure.
boys.
So it's like one of those over the shoulder, pull out whatever thing.
what's that called in comics? It's called like hammer space.
yeah.
Yes, 100% correct.
That kind of vibe.
Yeah.
We don't. It is a little bit of a. I can't comment on the manga, unfortunately, but at least from the anime, it's you don't really see her fiddling around with the attachments too much. It's more like I'm going into this mission with this mode on. I'm going into this mission with the scope
she
on.
does it all beforehand.
But,
Yeah.
but is she
Yeah.
locked in once she does that?
In theory, no,
She can't.
but we don't see any direct evidence to show her changing too actively.
we don't
but
see
they-
her switching them in the middle of a
Yeah.
fight.
But also she doesn't go, oh, I'm locked into this. There's no way I can
Exactly.
change mid-fight."
It
I think
reminds-
there might be one fight where she changes midway through, but
Yeah.
it's not like highlighted that much.
I
No,
thought it was
gotcha.
more like that. Okay, it reminds me less of it now, but I was gonna say it reminds me. Have you seen Suicide Squad, the second one they did, the Suicide Squad? It reminds me of Bloodshot.
Ah,
And
yeah.
that where he has all the armor that's made of nanobots that he makes into his gun, and you take bits off his armor to attach to the gun and change.
Yeah,
what he
100%,
does.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
So like it's very, I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's a really cool gun. And yeah, it's really interesting, especially because she's kind of one of the, especially the character user, kind of one of those characters that you start off kind of being positioned to dislike, but start to like more as the show progresses. And like, it's really interesting how she like, if she wants to do like a long range kill on someone to have the power needed, she needs to lure some enemies towards her, wait until the moment where they're about to kill her, quickly take that shot because it's going to be strong enough to kill the target, and then defend herself against the guys coming to kill her.
Oh, I guess so.
So she has to kind of lure people to come at her
I was gonna
because
say, what's the range? But is it like the range is like a really long, but the further I are, the less passion you have.
Exactly.
It's danger.
exactly the more exactly. So she has to, for a gun to be very useful, she has to be in danger. So it's good, but as like a super long range sniper tool, it kind of has that nerf where you can't. It's. I kind of
Has
see
it
it
been
as their
seen to use?
justification for they don't just solve all their problems by putting
just
her on top
sniping
of a
people,
hill.
yeah.
I was gonna say, what's the range? Do we get a range? A
Not
vibe of range?
Not really. It's I don't really
She
feel
wasn't
confident
on the
throwing out
grassy
number.
knoll. She was.
She was
She was the
definitely
she was
over
the umbrella man.
at the like height, definitely over kilometers away. But like, yeah.
But she. That's interesting. So if she has it has a sniper attachment though. So she can be physically in danger, like close to her, and then use that to take a long range shot. Hypothetically.
Yep.
I mean, great like nerf weirdness that you have to like double focus. That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
a cool limitation, but also fucking
Another
wild.
way around it, you just actively playing a game of League at the same time.
It's true.
and then
It's
you
true.
turned your
You're
gun.
always
and
in
took a
danger.
shot.
Yeah.
and you'll be fucking
Yeah.
pissed.
I'm psychologically in danger.
But that's Pumpkin. We'll move on to the
is-
next one.
I can't fucking deal with the name.
Pumpkin.
Did she pick the name?
It doesn't appear so.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Honestly, respect.
I want to know who picked it.
Can we all respect the gun is a girly pop?
Yeah.
and all its owners are girly pops.
This is true.
It's
Yeah.
That's
always
so
been
true,
Pumpkin.
but also scroll to the next weapon right now.
It's sick.
Ooh.
So this one is Demon Armor Incursio. Incursio is an armor type artifact that in its non-activated form takes on the shape of a short sword with a chain link tassel in its sealed when it's sealed away. Once activated, which the user draws the sword and tends to yell Incursio, the user is enveloped in this full body armor that is summoned out of nowhere.
I
Nice.
do love yelling command words in battle.
It's very
it's
anime.
Pokemon.
It's very anime.
No, it's like it's Incursio. It sounds so similar to Crucio.
yeah,
in Harry Potter.
But I also really enjoy because the anime exclamations are always like Latin or they're like Omega Gun, Overkill Mode, Demon Killer.
yeah.
I think it should be a rule in our world that you have to announce your move before you attack anyone.
Guy, would you like to describe this?
I will absolutely. Imagine, if you will, a wide blade sword made of silver metal, and then remove the silver metal and almost make it take. I think it's almost like a wide blade sword that would be used by Megatron. Would be my description. It's sort of cybernetic along the side. There's brass plates in the middle. There's a large red gem embedded at the base of the sword, and the hilt curves upwards like a set of horns. The handle has a small hollow space in the middle, and there's quite a thick, almost looks like a set of bullets as a chain on the bottom. Not sure that that's what they are, but it's a very thick chain.
It's just a chain, yeah.
Otherwise, the armor itself, when summoned, it appears that the sword does something funky because he's holding a whole ass different weapon.
Kind of turns into like a big halberd thing.
It's like a big halberd spiky thing with like red top. I don't know what to. That's not a blade.
So it's like a spear.
It's almost like a spear with a fucked up head, and then the armor itself is like the white Power Ranger with metal pauldrons.
Yep,
big silver metal pauldrons.
that is pretty much
Okay,
it.
you're missing the best part of it. He's
And
got
the cape.
He's got a huge white cape.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a sick helmet.
Quick pause as well. His arms actually go through the top of the cape, which is a weird choice.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You missed the helmet. The helmet looks like, he kind of looks like Shredder.
I described it as fucking
Power
the Power Ranger.
Yeah.
That's the Power Ranger helmet.
Either. So, Incursio was created from the flesh of Tyrant, a superclass dragon-type danger beast. The danger beast's power was so great that its flesh is still alive within the armor, giving this Imperial Arms the title of Demon Armor.
Ew.
Yep. Thus how it grows out from the sword.
That's a Five Nights at Freddy's reference.
Sure. Due to its origins as the Danger Beast Tyrant, Incursio possesses an aptitude for evolution and adaptation with its user. Aside from its standard capabilities, it does continue to evolve as a result of battles against several opponents, gaining new forms and abilities as time goes on. Due to being body armor, Incursio has a near destructible. Fuck me, dead.
It's very close to being destructive.
A near indestructible defense, with the only thing able to pierce it being other Imperial arms. So this person
So all of the guns that they're probably going to go up against.
That's so unfair.
being able to not immediately pierce. It basically, it is still, it's not to say that like the gun could just pea shoot to him and he's dead. it's still like a really good suit of armor, but it's more like if you dropped someone wearing this armor in front of an army of 1,000 soldiers, he could probably just walk through all of them and they wouldn't be able to touch him.
Does he?
But if you put him fighting against another Imperial Arms user, it's now a fair fight.
Is it like completely indestructible? Does it absorb stuff? Like, I know there's like in comics, Luke Cage has indestructible skin. And he still can take damage from like internal stuff. So if you know how like if I hit him, if he fell off a cliff, indestructible, the armor's not going to break, but he's going to feel it inside because like force.
car is not
it
broken,
it does seem
passenger
to.
is.
Yeah.
You still seem to feel it to an extent.
Yeah.
But we don't see any blows powerful enough
like
to
cushioning.
like kill inside the armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the wielder of Incotio also summons to themselves a long spear halberd-like weapon, which is proved more than capable of fighting other Imperial arms.
Yeah. Sick.
Basically, it's a really fucking sick suit of armor that has a trump card. The armor's trump card is the ability to turn invisible for a period of time.
Okay.
Not need that. That's so.
Depending on the skill of the user, it affects how long they can stay invisible for. Yep. A noted weakness of the armor is that while you are visually naked from the eye, what? That is not a sentence. I wrote a sentence that does not make sense.
No.
You are invisible to the naked eye.
That is what I
think
meant
what
to
you were
say.
trying to
Yeah.
say.
No, but it's so much funnier if the armor turns invisible, but you.
It's actually such a good bait. Oh my
Yeah.
god, stepping up to the battle, just like, what the okay, I'm just gonna kill this guy then.
This you were just selling it. This armor turns invisible.
Yeah.
And you walk into battle and
It's
then
the fucking
activate the
king's
button.
new clothes all
Yeah.
over again. I am equipped with the greatest weapon of all. I've been told this is the best.
This is called. This is a teleporting blade. If I press this button, I will teleport. Where'd my sword go?
Yes. But what it doesn't do is hide your like presence from people. So someone could still sense you.
You're still making noise.
You're still making noise. We don't really get. Once again, there's one of those things where like I'm not sure if it's a translation thing or they were just trying to make it feel like a video game. But like he tries to sneak up behind someone and they go, "You need to get better at masking your presence. I can still feel you." And it's like, is this like divine sense or some shit, or
that's
is it
cold.
like some
That's
kung
cold.
fu
That's
shit?
cold as fuck.
Oh, it's cool, but yeah,
No, he's actually giggling the whole time.
he was trying to sneak up on someone who's bathing. So
Okay.
anime once again, am I right, everybody?
But it's kind of like how Ron and Harry
Yeah.
walk around in the invisibility cloak.
Yeah.
But Dumbledore can kind of senses the magic.
It is very
of
much that vibe,
And
yeah.
he's like, he can kind of sense where they are.
Yeah, exactly. So the interesting part of this, so yes, there's a drum card, but the interesting thing with this armor is the adaptation and evolution, which is quite unique among Imperial arms. And it's the ability to continue evolving, which we see on several occasions. Once it is inherited by a new wielder, the artifact goes through a bit of an evolution in order to adapt to the fighting style of its new wielder and try to exceed its previous limitations with this new wielder. The armor that enveloped... So we see it with one person and it eventually gets... pretty early, look, this is a spoiler warning, ready for this episode. This is the item that gets wielded by our main guy, Tatsumi. And he gets it pretty early on because the previous wielder, who was also a member of the assassin group, unfortunately dies after fighting a bunch of other Imperial Arms users, and he chooses Tatsumi to be the new inheritor. And we see when it goes from the previous user, who was more of like a big Chad... brutal kind of barbarian style fighter. The armor is like big, bulky, looks like a fucking tank, right? Tatsumi is more of like your agile short sword fighter. So when it goes onto him, we see this version, which is more of like a sleek, agile based armor.
So it adjusts to the user.
Exactly
I
right.
was just going to ask, if it gets cut, say the battle is I cut you in the leg and it like opens like a hole in the armor, if I go back into my form and then turn back,
It is repaired, yeah.
it fixes itself. That's,
Yeah.
Does it have like
We
a
do-
that's convenient. So
we do
convenient.
see there is a bit of a cooldown period.
Yeah, I
so
thought
like
so.
once he's fought for ages, the armor might kind of like video game style kind of like shatter off of him. And then he's like, fuck, I can't use it from... Well, he doesn't say fuck, I guess, in the show.
He does say fuck.
He says, fuck!
Yeah, he does fuck him. No. It's kind of... I wasn't going to say at the start. It's kind of one of those animes where everyone
biggest
just
spoiler.
inexplicitly falls in love with the main character for no apparent reason.
You gotta love a harem anime.
That's the word. Thank you.
From the two things you said, he easily kills the dragon when everyone's like running away and people fall in love with him. Sounds like a bit of a power trip anime.
Is a bit of a power
Which,
trip.
honestly, I respect it a little bit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
respect
It's
it.
some fun.
Hey, one of the only animes I've ever watched is fucking
Sword Art Online.
Online, and that's the
Yep.
definition of a harem
This is true.
power fantasy anime.
This is true.
Except
So
the fact that one of them is a sister, which is fucked up.
let's not go into that.
Don't worry about it.
They don't
Shouldn't-
know at the
watch
time.
it. They start e-dating through a MMO, and then they find out that they're related. Well, they're not actually related. They're step brother and sister, which almost is worse.
Stepbrother?
Oh no, that's fine.
It's
Okay.
legally and genetically it's fine, but it's got the ick.
yeah.
I've not told you. The grandparents
I thought you were about to say something really bad.
No. So in my family, my uncle that is not biologically related to me, so the one that like married into the family, his parents were step siblings.
It's the most British thing.
Is it?
Is
I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty British to inbreed, but also that's
That's what I
not
was
that's
thinking.
not inbreeding.
I was going to say that's not. I don't know if that's
Technically,
British
it's
as much
close
as it's
they
just
can get these
European. I
days.
was going to say that's somewhat less European than just British.
yeah, that's
Anyway, so moving on with the armor.
Sorry, Europeans.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm one of them. They were able to sense that the armor, so the new wielder, Tatsumi, was able to sense that the armor, after its evolution, kind of had new abilities that he had yet to discover. One ability that we see him do is, while the armor is a little bit less tanky than it was with its previous user, he was able to summon a dragon head or the head of the tyrant from any point on the armor to deflect big attacks from weapons. So if he was able to see a big attack coming, he could kind of like summon a metal head that would like take the blow.
That's
rather than it
actually
going-
so sick.
I know, right? It's cool.
it's kind of goofy.
Shut up.
Yeah.
It's a fucking. Why is it got to be a face, huh?
Because it came from a dragon.
And wait, sorry, is it a dragon face?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I didn't hear the dragon face thought. I thought it was just a dude's face like, coming out, biting this one. That's why I thought it was goofy.
That's so good.
Yeah, right? Do you see why I was like, okay, I don't know why you guys are so into this.
Yeah. Anyway, fuck me. So it can protect against some really big blows. If he sees that it's a blow that he won't be able to block with his spear, his armor may not hold up against it, he can channel a big defense into that. Kind of like summoning a shield, you know. So yeah, that's in Cursia. It's pretty sick. But this is one of those ones that we see more so in the manga than the anime, so I haven't seen as much of it, but this is one of those ones that, because it is such an alive suit of armor, it does, after its overuse, does start to kind of turn him into this half-demon, scaly skin sort of thing.
Very protagonist.
Yeah, and they deal with it in ways that, well, no, there's no point talking about this episode, but yeah, it's a complication of the armor that through overuse it does start to kind of eat into you.
So you got to think about if over a long term use of it, there might be some downsides for this one in particular. So we'll
I'm factoring it
So
in.
going from that, we're going into a really serious and very interesting looking thing that doesn't look silly at all. Go to scroll down.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. It looks pretty serious. It looks like a thing I would, yeah.
So we have a pair of scissors.
That's it.
I tried to think of anything else.
Hold on.
No.
There is a little sticker in the middle that is a little panda face.
They look like a pair of scissors.
I enlarged every image, but I must have forgotten to do this one. Let me just do it now. There
They
you
look like a pair. Oh my god! They look like a pair of scissors
go. Look, oh yeah, go.
with a black handle that look like I'd use them in high school to chop up things
Yeah, that
for,
thick,
a,
aren't they?
for a project with a little like panda on it. Looks like.
I'll say two things that do stand out, though, very quickly. One, the handle, this is such a weird thing, but it looks like it was made by Gorons from Legend of Zelda, just because it's got that kind of angular metal look. Very solid, nicely built, but kind of weird angles.
It looks like it's double-sided. Like scissors usually have a slice on one side. It looks from the ending of it, looks like it might be able to like a dagger kind of
Well,
ending.
honestly, what I was going to say...
What if I told you this thing was about as big as a Scottish broadsword?
Oh!
You and referencing sizing has been
No, I
horrible.
much prefer dropping it on you.
This
Fuck's
is
sake.
fucking Dirk Gently Season 2 all over again.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's a huge scissor broadsword, basically. These are the Cutters of Creation, Extase.
Yo!
Extase is an artifact in the shape of a large pair of scissors with a panda bear sticker on its pin, because why not? Extase is an extremely sharp and is said to be able to cut through any material, including the armor of Incursio.
Whoa.
Yeah, which was supposed to be unbreakable. It is also very sturdy, allowing its wielder to use it for defense, and it is strong enough to even deflect bullets, as seen when the user blocks some attacks from, well, a gun.
Fucking damn it.
Can I guess something?
Yep.
Is this the thing that kills the first user of
No, one of his allies uses this.
Oh, okay.
But I guess that she kind of boasts
Tested
at some
it?
point.
Does he test it? Come here.
Actually, that's a good question.
I will also say the scissor blade is very much defined as a sword blade if you look at
That's
the
what I was
detail.
thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. The item possesses great durability, and it is able to also withstand powerful blows from an organic type, which we'll get to. Fighting style wise, this weapon is well balanced enough to basically just function like a huge dueling blade, except that it is also scissors. So you see the user of it kind of using it just like a big greatsword, and then sometimes they'll just, for the finishing move, scissor blade over the neck.
Yeah, just you know what they say,
chop,
just
baby.
chopping the hedges. You know?
That's it. Yeah, so there's not a huge amount to say on this, but it does have a very interesting trump card, which could be very usable in certain situations. And we don't have a specific name for it. The trump card is that it emits a bright flash of light for a short period of time that blinds opponents without obscuring the user's own vision. This ability is great for distraction, either in escape, attack, or any other use.
Yo!
It's a flashbang.
Flashbang! Without the worry of having to shield your eyes.
Yep.
That's sick. That's so useful.
Is it like only blindness? Isn't like flashbang in the sense like hearing? It's just
Just the light.
Fair enough.
Not the bang part.
does it?
It's just the flash, not the bang.
Fair enough. Does it actually like blind people, or is it like
Like temporarily blind
Okay.
them. They aren't like permanently blind,
If they're
but it
close
will be
enough.
enough that, I mean, if they force their eyes to keep open, it might cause damage, but it's kind of one of those like a bright light, you know.
I guess.
What are you disappointed about? It's a giant pair of scissors that can be used to cut anything that can also blind people. Because you know what my special move is going to be on you? I'm going to blind you and then I'll cut you in half.
I just want to permanently blind people, leave you. You know what I mean?
You got issues, man.
Good issues.
This blinding isn't good enough for Matt.
This
We're gonna
doesn't blind
get this
people bad
blinding to
enough.
a higher value.
I need to see how this is used because, like, I'm imagining trying to use a sword and the other sword kind of get in the way, but also maybe using it to defend yourself. I
By
don't know.
using anime techniques where they kind of just flourish it around. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, don't worry
It'd
about
be
it.
really annoying. Really heavy.
But that's 6-star safe. There's not a huge amount to say on that one. It wasn't a great descriptor, so I'm going to let Matt describe the next one as well, and then I'll give you the one after.
It's
If you
literally
guys-
a pair of scissors.
If you guys... Oh, yeah?
Is
something
the
else?
hilt plastic or metal?
No, metal.
Okay, because it does look like the plastic kind of handle scissors you have.
That's fair. Moving on to the next one.
I don't want to look at this.
Title scroll.
Oh my god, he's so cute.
Yeah.
It's
So this is Magical Beast Transformation. Hecatoncheires.
Hecaton Harry's nuts.
Yep.
That was the best reception I've ever had for one of those. Let's go.
I will quickly say before you describe, Hecatoncheires, also known by its nickname, Koro.
Is it hairy or Aries?
Aries. Whatever.
Those are different. Those are two different words.
We're just going to call him Koro because it's a big long
Harry's
word.
is like you're very hairy. Lot of hair.
It's a Japanese one-worder. It's
Oh.
not actually the word hairy or airy. It's just part of a word.
It's,
I was thinking Aries
it's
like the
spelt
god,
like
the god Aries.
it's spelt like heir, as in like you are the heir of the kingdom.
Okay.
Rees. So it's like Aries.
I see. I was
Yeah.
thinking maybe it's a reference to the Greek god Aries.
Not quite.
Interesting.
Would you like to describe the two images before you? Because this is
Yeah.
another one of those pre-activation and during activation kind
Okay,
of
so
artifacts.
he's a little cute doggo, and he has a cute little collar around his neck. He is the shape of a bowling pin, basically, with just the tip. He's just round, like a big, like. It's a dog, but I think it's stylized to be like an anime dog. So it doesn't really have like a neck body. It's one big blob. And he has cute little ears that go down halfway down his body. His nose is a big button nose. And he has two eyes that look like they could reach into the pits of hell.
And in this cute little phase, he just exclusively goes.
Cute.
Yep.
And he has two cute little arms. He's standing on two legs from the looks of it, which is kind of creepy, but
Yeah. And what's his activated form look like, Matthew?
his activated. Okay, how big is he in the normal form, by the way?
The person behind him's kind of an average height human.
No, in the normal form.
Oh,
though.
the normal
Does he
form?
grow-
Oh, like below in
He's
your
a dog.
knee.
He's
like
a small
tiny
dog.
little dog.
Small
yeah.
dog. Okay, because in the activated form, he is the size of like two people. He's very big, and he basically his big round form gets really big and buff, and his little arms are sticking out the side now. And the big form is he looks fucking pissed off as hell, and he's got what in the first form you can't really see his mouth at all. He's got big mouth and big teeth coming out, and those dots on his belly.
Those are bullet holes that he's shrugging off. I couldn't find a better image of him.
That's fucking terrifying.
He gets shot to bits and will give no fucks. Thus all the smoke around him.
He's also got angry brow.
Who would shoot a dog?
When it's
Someone
big
who's
and
about to
trying
get fucking murdered by one.
So Koro is a biological dog type imperial arm, resembling.
Shut up. Okay, shut up. Are there like many different dogs? Or is he the only dog? You can't
the
just
only
make a
one that
type
we
calling
see.
the dog type, and it's the only dog.
I attached that name because I thought it was cute.
Okay.
That's so right, though.
That's good.
So as Matt said, resembling a small white dog with little black eyes, big ears, and a nose that stands on its back legs. When ordered, it can grow into a much larger size, increasing its strength and durability. It ferociously attacks enemies and usually devours them. Koro can also grow large, muscular arms and furiously unleash a volley of punches.
I don't know how.
fuck not?
His arms are so small.
Like grow big muscular arms.
Oh,
is what I
like
said.
Finn from
Yeah.
no, sorry, what? Jake the dog from Adventure Time.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but sure.
No, he's 100% correct.
Cool. Koro, like other biological imperial arms, it regenerates all damage unless its core is destroyed. In this case, the core is a small red orb located within the center of his head.
So that's called a brain.
Lord, give me strength. This dog has a trump card, because of course it does.
Let's fucking go.
And its trump card is Berserker.
Oh.
The trump card of Koro, which evolves the dog into... the trump card of Koro evolves the dog into a more bestial form, enhancing its physical abilities. In this form, its roar alone is enough to stun opponents.
Woo!
This is
So
the
it
best.
literally roars at you and you are just stunned. Its punching abilities increase in strength. Its ability to regenerate increases. It just goes berserker mode.
This is the best.
Woof!
Yeah.
Woof, woof, woof.
And after using berserker, Koro would often overheat and be unusable for a day.
Quick question. You said that everyone can only wield one Imperial Arms.
Yep.
What's the guy who wields this person do when he's fighting? Because presumably he doesn't have an Imperial Arms, and presumably these guys are trying to fight people with Imperial Arms. So do you just kind of stand at the back and let the dog do its deal?
Yep, the dog is her imperial arm. So
Fuck
she's
yeah.
kind of standing there hoping to not get hit.
What does Ash Ketchum do when he's in a Pokemon battle? He
He
gives instructions.
cries, he sobs, he puts his heart and soul into the fucking the battle, baby.
That's what
he's there.
does. That's what the person does. It's called an emotional bond between you and your Pokemon.
Yeah, but the fucking Pokemon's a rat. This is a god demon core dog. This thing can deal with its own fucking
There are
issues.
some dogs-
Can I tell you what she actually does?
What?
She's got 2 assault rifles.
That's the one! That's what I'm looking for, baby!
You hid the lead there.
That's what I'm looking for!
You know what? Ash needs to step up his
That's
game.
what I'm saying!
Ash needs to get a...
How much better would it
that's-
be if, like, Pikachu, let's go?
Pulls out a Glock.
The fucking other trainer's just like, no.
Ash, your Pikachu's no match for my Gargachomp. Yeah, well, suck on this.
That's what I've always felt like. It's like, oh, we're battling like the end of the world. These guys are trying to end the world, and we're still adhering to the rules of the Pokemon battle.
Yeah.
Get a gun. Get a gun.
Yep. Okay. Teams in the Pokemon world have standards. Just because the little kid, if the little kid walks in with a Pokemon and beats him in a Pokemon battle, you have to step aside and let him stop you just taking over the world.
Exactly.
It's true.
Which is why I would fucking dominate it. Because I'm smarter than that, and I understand what Semtex is.
But I agree, when you're fighting the god of time and space or the literal architect of the universe,
Gun.
I think getting an AK-47 is fair enough.
Yeah. So that's Koro. He's a cute little guy.
Fucking incredible.
The guns that the wielder, that the like owner of Koro uses, are not part of the Imperial Arm. That's why I didn't describe them right away. It's just her answer to, my Imperial Arm is a separate entity to me, leaving me kind of vulnerable if someone gets up close. How am I going to fix this?
This furthers the question of, in this fantasy world, like the Imperial Arms being guns, it was like, oh, okay, they're like exceptional, like time-breaking weapons. But she just also has a gun, which implies manufacturing processes, which implies bullets, manufacturing, which implies gunpowder, which like there's shot. Do you mention? Anyway.
The sword's way cooler. So
It's so fucking
You
right.
want to know the silliest part?
Tell me.
I'm going to say it, and we're just going to move on to the next item. She's not necessarily holding the assault rifles. They've been built into her body so that when her arms come off. Anyway, so the next item.
Oh, Jude!
So the next item, if you would like to scroll down, Guy, you can describe.
I don't want to
this one.
scroll down. I don't want to move on. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Holy shit, it's Ben 10.
So this one is called Infinite Uses Crosstail. You're describing the glove part.
Yeah, it's Ben 10, but the glove.
Yeah.
No, legitimately speaking, it's Matt's description term.
No, he just did the
I
dog.
literally just described the dog and the scissors.
I guess it's
before
because
that.
you just described a dog. I was like, checked
Yeah.
out. This guy has a sick as fuck, may I say, fingerless glove on both hands, with the main body part of it. Judging by the fact that there's a lot of green light, I'm going to guess the actual hand part of it's going to be black.
Yeah.
And then with little white parts on the actual finger sections. On the back of the main part of the palm, what would you call the back of the hand? Because that's the palm on the front. What's the back?
hand? Just back in the hand.
There's no name for that.
There should be one. I can call that a palm. That's a
Reverse palm.
Dumb.
other side of the palm. Other side of the palm, there is, I would describe it as a medallion sort of shape device, which I can't see the actual design of it, but on the outside is probably a silver ring with I would guess, some sort of black and silver design on the back there. They are wielding this in both hands with small fishing line style strings streaking from their hands and green light enveloping them. And a pair of stupid looking fucking goggles on their head. And a hoodie. What the fuck is going on with this goddamn section's time placement?
This dude literally
It's a cloak.
just wears jeans, a t-shirt, and a hoodie that's kind of turned into a cloak. But like in terms of how it literally looks like a hoodie, but it goes longer. This dude's just here.
This world have better fashion than our world had back in the
You're so fucking right. I want that cloak.
So, Crosstail is a tool that can be used both offensively and defensively, and very utility. It takes the form of gloves with metallic fingertips that has steel wires running through them. It can be used in various ways to attack, defend against, or immobilize opponents.
Oh, those aren't fingerless.
No, it's a little tip.
It turns the green to white.
Gotcha.
The majority of this highly resistant steel wire is held in a larger than normal spool worn on the back of his waist, which you can't see in the photo, but I couldn't get a good picture
Convenience,
of it.
it's fine.
The wielder often uses the wire. I skipped a sentence. Crosstail is a very versatile tool that is limited and exceeded by someone's creativity. You have to be creative with this. The wielder often uses the wire to create a perimeter to detect enemies who crosses through them, but also they can use them to set traps to attack enemies. They can form it into melee weapons because it's unbreakable steel string. For example, we see him form it into a spear to throw at people. We see it be used to wrap his own body in armor. And while incredibly sharp, the string weapons can be disassembled at will, which means that if he stabs a foe with, say, a wire spear, he can unwrap the string inside their bodies to start targeting their internal organs, ensuring quick and brutal kills. The threads can be easily tied to other objects, such as knives, to control their course in flight when thrown. Thus taking the enemy by surprise, if he wants to. It can also be used to try and patch up injuries, putting back on a limb if someone has regeneration to match, or otherwise just to generally hold together a wound. So basically, it is really vague, but really interesting, because it is just a massive, seemingly endless supply of unbreakable, incredibly strong string.
That you can manipulate with your fingers.
That he can manipulate.
Does he ever, he, they, she? Does he ever actually, like, move things around with that? Like, it, like, move from a distance? Can he grab stuff? Or?
Yep.
okay, cool. This is the ultimate functional thing. I know what I'm picking for my day-to-day life.
Yep.
This is the answer to everything.
But you have to be really skilled with it. I feel like it'd be quite a mess and really annoying because you have to
That's
really
fine.
focus and you make it
feels
work.
like an extended version of Spiderweb almost, where he like makes this big web around him. You have to be really careful because the string is steel and therefore really sharp. Like he just does a little twist and it could take someone's hand off.
I feel like you'd make a lot of accidents and fuck up a lot. I feel like it's kind of like the extreme version of like those circus tricks with like a yo-yo, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it takes a lot of skill to get good at a yo-yo, and you can fuck up a lot. But this is like that, but like you will kill yourself or someone else.
I understand that. However, when I impose the question, what superpower do you want? The practice usually doesn't form a part of my factor of choosing.
This is true.
For convenience sake, assuming I can use it, I'm picking this.
Guy,
Yes.
we have to think practically here. We don't do
We have to
surface
think
level.
practically about the metal string finger gun, magic, healing, moving item spell.
Bullshittery.
What podcast do you think you're on? Of course you fucking do.
You're so right.
This is the podcast for that.
I don't want to. My brain's non-functional.
That's also the podcast for that.
So the trump card of Crosstails is called Realm Cutting Thread. It doesn't cut realms. It's just called that.
I know, but it's a sick name.
It is really. Anime
They're really
always has sick
these
names.
are good names. These are good
I
names.
know, right? The wielder also has a stronger type of thread, which is superior to the regular thread because it originated from, to quote exactly my source, the stronger parts of the original Danger Beast's body. I don't know, man.
No, I got that. That's fair.
It was shown to be, so he has only a limited amount of this, but it was shown to be strong enough to tie up even like Imperial Arms users. So if someone was like using strength increase that they may be able to escape out of the normal traps, if he used this special string on them, it's going to be very difficult to, if not impossible.
Nice.
The drawback is presumably he only has so much of this string. We don't see him run out though, so who knows?
Who knows?
I assume you have like a limited amount, and then the what is it called? The reel you have slowly regenerates that string.
Yeah, you would assume. We don't really have confirmation on
Just
that.
like how the armor
It's kind of
regenerates, you know?
kind of classic. I collect my arrows almost. Where after most fights, you
Yeah.
see him
Yeah.
like after having. Because he kind of controls it and tightens it with like dials on the back of his hands, which you can kind of see there. You'll see him like snare someone in a trap, twist it, and you see them just like turn to blood as the string fucking squishes in on them. And then you'll see him like flick all the string out and then like retract it back in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also,
kind of sick.
still one of my funniest D&D memories was the first time we ended up on a boat in the first campaign, and our fighter Archer shot a bunch of arrows and then went, "Oh, am I going to be able to get those arrows back?" To which Jude responded, "We're in the ocean." She went, "Fuck."
Yeah.
First time actually having consequences for firing those arrows. Incredible moment.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's the Crosstails. It's a huge item that you could talk about for ages, but also like there's not a lot to talk about because it's just so vague.
But I kind of love that. I feel like
It's really cool.
This is the soft magic system of these magic systems.
It is 100%. It's really cool. Incredible utility, incredibly powerful, and honestly, some of the coolest fight scenes in this show are ones with him, just because they do get really creative with the way that they use it.
It'd be so gross to kill someone with this, though.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh god.
Some of the kills are gnarly.
I'm just saying, get over it. We're going into the Hunger Games and the zombie apocalypse.
Imagine trying to pick your coffee up and you're like, oh, you swig the coffee and you just slice your coffee in half.
Perfect.
Yep.
I feel so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's
The next one, if you'd like to scroll down. Ooh.
Yeah, hell yeah.
sorry, guy.
No, damn it. Okay, I'm honestly having a bit of trouble figuring out what the fuck this is.
Yeah, it's so dark that I'm struggling to see the item.
Like, I think I can get it, but I would love...
It's the katana.
It's a katana.
It's a katana.
Okay, so for reference, listener / viewer / whoever you are, this is a katana, but it's got a large black sort of shadow coming off it, making it... I almost thought that she was like Captain Feathersword and had...
Sir,
You had two in a row, fuck you.
I had a scissors and a dog.
I got a fucking string and a kind of feather sword, okay?
That's right, Madeline. Force you doing the next two.
No, go for it.
No, I just
Take it
okay.
over.
I just okay.
Take it over.
It's interesting.
This is the beef episode. Come here, bitch.
Boys,
Sorry, I just turned away from the mic.
Okay, so as Guy was kindly describing, we see a shadow katana with a nice wrapped red handle, with a square crossguard. We see there. The reason we were taking so hard to see it is because this blade is wrapped in a purpled black shadow, as we described earlier, that is like surrounded by this black energy. It seems to be a silver blade with one kind of line going up the middle there, kind of like your normal katana. And she also seems to have a second katana around the back. Is that part of it as well?
What?
Is that the sheath?
That's the sheath.
That's the sheath.
Yeah.
It looks like a red sheath with a silver tip.
Yeah.
She's also holding it in the dumbest fucking pose I've ever seen in my life.
It's called anime.
But she's like twisting her arm underneath and holding it like backhand. Like,
So
Have you ever wielded a katana, Guy?
this
yes.
Well,
No.
this is the one cut killer Murasame.
Oh, yeah.
Murasame is a long katana type weapon used by Night Raid assassins. It is a cursed blade that can kill a person with a single cut. Once the sword pierces the skin, a poisonous curse will spread through the victim's body, killing them within seconds by stopping their heart. The curse appeared as black markings that originated from the wound and spread across the victim's skin, reaching the heart eventually. These markings then vanish once the person has died. However, this ability only works on living organic beings that have a heart, rendering it ineffective against armor and biological type weapons, as well as machines and other tools which we'll get to.
and it won't work on Guy.
It wouldn't work on...
Heartless baby.
It'll work on Guy. He has a big heart. We are shown that it is possible...
It's worrying.
It's a worry. We are shown that it is possible to survive the curse by quickly cutting off the affected body part before the curse can spread.
Nice.
That was
However-
my first question.
However, it is very difficult to do so, as the one person we see manage to do it literally freezes time to achieve it.
Lol.
That's one way to do it.
We'll get to that item.
Ooh, that's interesting.
There is a trump card here.
Yeah, for sure.
The trump card is called Little Warhorn, which is a performance enhancer that strengthens its user with the power of the curse itself. To use it, you have to be prepared to permanently scar yourself the rest of your life, as you cut yourself with the blade, and you have to be strong enough to resist the curse. Of course, the blade will not want to claim your soul as the wielder, but depending how strong you are and how experienced you are, you might just die. But when you activate it, it causes a few permanent changes to your user's body. Their scleras turn black, with markings appearing all around their now red pupils, and a dark aura begins to envelop their body. Red markings also appear all over the user's body and remain as scars for the rest of your life. The trump card places considerable strain on the user's body, basically giving them chronic pain for the rest of their days. Part of this as well is that they are accepting the lives they have taken with the blade, to directly quote the show, and allowing that mental torment to reign free. But on the plus side, you basically become an inhuman killing machine fueled by demonic powers. You get incredible strength enhancement as one thing, but we also see a speed increase to near magical levels. The user literally moves so fast that someone slowing down time doesn't affect them.
Okay, that's not speed. You can't. That's infinite
That's real.
speed.
Like
That's
us-
resistance.
so-
that's
so-
the will.
That's resistance
the will
to
to
time
keep
stopping.
going.
That's
That's
not.
Magical speed.
That's
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
When you stop. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
When you stop time, doesn't matter what speed you're going. It's stopping.
Apparently it does, obviously.
Well, slowing time, not stopping time. And she's just
okay,
moving
that's a good
so
difference.
fast that despite having
Slowed
it
time,
slowed,
it's still
she's
very-
still going fast.
Yeah. Okay. That's a big difference. Okay,
Yeah. It kind of to use a really obtuse example, if you want to picture like in the Justice League movie when the Flash goes into like his Speed Force mode and everyone else is like slow-mo and then Superman just looks at him like, huh?
Yeah. He's still fast enough to keep up with them.
Yeah, it's kind of sort of like that.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Interesting. Also interesting that you mentioned that cutting off the limb will stop the curse, because that implies that it's either biological or something that is like has a physical, because usually you think of curses and it's like curse, you're cursed. There's nothing that's like just a thing.
It appears to be more of a poison.
Whereas more of a poison,
Yeah.
that's I like that take on curse magic still
Yeah.
needing to,
100%,
travel.
100%.
Well, technically, it's not a poison. It'd be a venom.
This is true. It's true.
Poisonous digested venom is.
I know
downstream.
it's the Actually podcast, but like
But like sometimes you don't need to.
sometimes when I want to push up my fake glasses, actually, but also so right.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
assuming she's never used the overfire version of this. Then
In
because
this
this
image.
particular image
in
of
this particular
lady-
image, she has not used
Yeah,
it.
this particular image is of a young
My-
woman with a
my
skirt
question-
with legs out, no scars, no nothing.
My question: once you use that trump card, other trump cards things that you can slow down, use it again sometime. Once you use it once, are you that forever?
Appears to be the case, yes.
So you don't do it multiple times. You just get that permanent transformation.
But the implication is that they may not be able to live for much long after because of how bad the toll it takes on you. Like you're basically
Interesting.
forcing
It's
yourself
like a
to live in.
sacrifice.
Yeah, you're opening up your mind to hear the voices of the people you've killed with the sword. You're giving yourself constant chronic pain with it.
Okay, cool. Okay,
It's
I
pretty
will-
fucked.
I will not be choosing this item.
Yeah, yeah.
But also, like, it is like all out finisher move. Like
It
that
is.
is crazy. And for something like, I don't know, a competition where you only have to fight a small group of people at the very end, and then you're able to live the rest of your life with, you know, a lot of money and your needs taken care of. It's an option.
It is an option.
I'm just saying it's an option.
It is
Not
an
on
option.
my table.
It's fair.
How bad can chronic pain really be? Oof, being real.
I'm sure the Hunger Games world has a med for that.
Sure.
They do. They do. You just do the vomit thing.
Well, in saying that, we do see in the show, like the sequel to the show, spoiler alert, this character does have to use the trump card at some point. We see her trying to find a way to live with this pain. We do find there is a particular herbal remedy that can kind of be
yeah.
used to tone it back a bit,
Oh yeah.
but it's also then kind of leads into addiction to an extent. It's complicated.
Oh yeah.
But then that has such a slowing effect on her that it kind of makes her not even really able to fight that much. So it's either unstoppable fighter or not very capable. There's no in between anymore.
Yeah, I'm picking this for the Hunger Games one.
That's fair. If you would like to scroll down.
Crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, I am. Sorry.
Fuck,
Wow.
I hate you, Guy.
I'm crazy.
Guy, would you like to...
Yeah,
wait,
you
Guy
glad
or
you
Matt,
didn't-
do you,
you-
I think Guy should have
Guy,
to
you get
describe
this one now.
Cock and balls.
That's that's what it is.
It is a pair of underpants by the looks of it, except for the fact that I think that the magical item realistically is probably the belt. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes.
All right. So the image that we've been given is of a person in their underpants. I can't see the whole body, but I'm assuming male.
No,
No, female. Okay. Man,
she's just ripped.
She's just fucking ripped, is that thing. Torso and legs exposed and a pair of very small black underpants on. But over the top, a belt with it almost looks metallic,
Yeah.
the actual thing. So a belt made of metal, 3 sort of bands attached in the middle. No belt behind the clasp in the middle. A large circular iron disc with a, what is that? That's a Pentagon's 5. A hexagon? Why is it hex and not sexagon?
True.
It is. It should be.
It should be. It should be.
It's a sexagon with the 6 sides, and it all kind of comes up into a shallow peak, almost like the top of a gem, perhaps. But all iron and metal and bronze on the 3 bands around
It
the side.
reminds me of the if you're looking at a umbrella from the very top.
Oh, yeah. I get
It also reminds me of the boulder badge from Pokemon.
yeah, that's fair.
Brock's badge.
That's fair. Yeah, yeah.
It reminds me in vibe, although not necessarily looks, of the Belt of Dwarven Kind from D&D
No, I get you.
as well.
Big time. Vibes are very similar as well.
Yeah, in terms of that,
So-
just like chunky.
This is the King of Beasts transformation, Lionel. Lionel is a belt-shaped imperial arms that transforms its wearer into a beast, instantly increasing one's physical strength and abilities. It also amplifies one's sense of smell to enable scouting, beast-like. Yeah, this is Catgirl.
I fucking knew it. I was like, why is this image cropped to only be the torso of this person? What
I
do
was
they
wondering
look
how long
like?
it would take you guys to get the
I was
cat.
going to
2
say,
seconds.
this is a furry. This has to be a furry.
Yeah. This is the Catgirl. So when activated, Lionel enhances the user's 5 senses greatly and gives them danger beast characteristics such as lion-like ears, paws, and a tail. It also greatly increases their regeneration, physical strength, and speed to animalistic levels. The belt grants the ability to locate specific individuals over a long distance. So they can sniff someone out.
This is cooked. What the fuck? This is great.
Some personality traits are affected as well, even when Lionel is not active. For example, the user, after using it for a long time, even when they're not activated, they start to take on a lot of cat-like traits. Anime man.
God damn it.
Yeah. Cat girl.
Not the worst.
Not the worst drawback.
Could be worse.
It could be a demon eating you.
Yeah.
This is true. Trump card.
I'll be a little bit of a cat, you know?
This is another one of those ones that does over time start to fuse with the person, and when they only have the cat lion features when they're in activated form, they start to just have those features all the time as they start to fuse with it.
Have ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
It's not a huge... No, compared to the demon
I was
fusing
gonna
with
say,
you,
like,
no,
yeah.
exactly. So then we go into the trump card, which is just a thing, but it kind of counts the trump card, and that is the Regenerator, which grants the user high-speed regeneration. Its limits are unknown, but the user in the series was able to heal their eye being removed, sliced open chest, and massive bodily injuries over a bit of time.
Wow.
That's great regeneration.
And by combining it with... They can't... Yeah, we see them combine with the crosstail user, so the guy with all the strings. We see them combine together to reattach missing body parts. So an arm that gets removed, this person has the regenerative ability to, holy fuck, her arm got cut off, she's going to be fucked. And then crosstail's guy comes over, strings it back on, she's able to heal that.
How long did that take?
It was pretty quick, but she wouldn't be able to regrow the arm.
Minutes?
Yeah, it was. She was back fighting in the same fight, so minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Crazy. Also, sorry. Is
yep.
crossguard required for that, or can she just kind of pick it up and...
I assume yes, but it would take longer.
It also probably wouldn't be the nerves wouldn't align.
Yeah.
I think crossguard's probably involved in a bit of precision there.
Yeah.
Maybe if you get someone with a good bandage, they can do it.
Well, yeah, if someone was able to sew it back on, probably, but yeah. But at the same time, we're told that she wouldn't be able to regrow her arm if she didn't have the arm. So if it got eaten off, probably not.
But she'd probably be able to survive, though. She'd just have a
100%.
fucked up little stump.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wild.
She's not an octopus. If she turned into an octopus, she'd be able to regrow.
That's true. That's true.
She's a cat.
Yeah.
Octopus can regrow their limbs.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, for sure. No, it's just a fun tangent.
I did actually. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. This one's very useful in a variety of contexts. In terms of how she fits fighting wise, she's kind of just like their tough fighter with some utility.
Sorry,
we just got around to see what the cat
just getting distracted by what I just wanted to see, what sort of you say there's cat-like things. I just wanted to just see more what the specifics of that was. So I'm just
we
checking
wanted to see the
photos
tail,
of the character.
Do you guys want to scroll to the next one?
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
that's my lunch, dude. That's what I packed.
Would you like to describe this one, Matt? This is the Gaia Foundation.
So Foundation, it's sort of... Sorry, I'm fucking with you.
It's a makeup kit. It's a foundation. I thought eventually that was food. I thought they was like ham and stuff like that. That is, I've seen that. That is like lipstick and looks like moisturizers in there. There's a bunch of different foundations and skin stuff. So yeah, so it seems to be a really good makeup kit for anyone to use to be able to make themselves look better.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, there's like a little Angry Birds. I think they're like balls, and they look like they got eyes on them.
It's basically just a big makeup kit.
What the fuck is that things at the bottom?
I don't really know, to be honest.
They're snacks.
I can't tell if they're a weird anime thing or something we just don't know about makeup.
So what do you think? So this is the Phantasmagoria Gaia Foundation. What do you reckon this thing does?
I think it manages. it's a disguise. I think you can put it on and be anyone else. You might even, I think originally you just maybe the start level you just look like them, but originally maybe you get act like them, maybe even their memories.
I think that perhaps it is instead a full charm kit. It is a thing where you apply it, and then the presence, the aura, like a +5 charisma bard, you can just kind of zone in.
Good guess, Matt. 1, Guy 0.
What?
It is a disguise kit. Gaia Foundation is an Imperial
So
Arms.
it's just a normal makeup kit.
Let me talk. It is an Imperial Arms in the form of a cosmetic case that enables its user to take on the appearance of whatever living creature they desire. Even if skilled users, even animals and cats, and even with the ability to mimic an animal's natural abilities, such as flight.
Did I not say that you start to get the abilities?
Okay, so it's polymorph light.
It is polymorph light.
Actually, no, it's just polymorph.
The
Takes
Gaia
all the time.
Foundation also allows the user to transform into plants.
I love
Oh,
So you can
nice.
paint yourself to be a tree and you become a tree.
Don't fucking Hunger Games me.
that. It's Peter from Hunger Games.
It resembles a cosmetic case with cosmetic tools inside.
I know what Peter would bring. I know what Peter
It is used for both reconnaissance and a disguise to trick opponents. The disguise was good enough to fool very good friends of people they were imitating. Of course, the drawback here is that it really heavily depends on how good of an espionage agent the user is. It doesn't, in any time, let you take the mind of all memories of who you're pretending to be, just their physical body and like voice and stuff. So, while it's an incredibly powerful tool, simply saying, I'm going to use this in the Hunger Games to disguise the shit out of everyone and win, you still have to physically be good enough to deceive them and make them think you're someone else, or
Yeah.
survive long enough as a tree, whatever else.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's like, so that's very much similar to in Marvel. There's different shapeshifters in Marvel.
Yeah.
One is a copycat, whose copycat can perfectly copy you. No one can tell by any senses, and you even get their powers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like Mystique is really good at. She's not as good as Copycat, but she's an elite spy.
Yeah.
So she has all the acting skills to get away with that kind of thing. Whereas
exactly.
Copycat's not as good as a spy.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. So yeah, there's no known trump card for this one.
It's super disguise ability.
Yeah.
I think the trump card should be that you get their memories.
Yeah. Would you like to scroll down to the next one?
Or you can make stuff up to become. You can be like, I want to be a dragon. You just want to be a dragon.
Okay. I'm not immediately jumping out of my seat excited about this one, but it has potential.
I'm struggling to see what we are looking at.
I think we're looking at the thing in the middle.
Okay.
The genie vial thing. Genie cup thing.
You see what I mean?
Guy, would you like to describe what you see?
Isn't Matt getting two?
No, go, guy.
Okay.
Take it away.
Say so, Chief. This is a small, golden, almost trophy-shaped bottle vase type thing. I would describe it as similar to those like $5, like you did a good job, golden trophy things, but in reality, a much more elegant thing. It has small markings that are a little bit sinister. There are sharp designs on the front, and the handles are pointed. But otherwise, it is a simple gold vessel.
Yeah. This is Demon God Manifestation Demon's Extract.
Christ.
This one, I'm going to share it with you guys, but it is off the table for picking because it's just too good.
What?
It would make the choice boring because
Why is it in a cage in this photo?
it is locked away.
I
yes.
mean, you
Okay.
also assume that we're willing to take whatever obvious toll this is going to take on our bodies.
True. So, Demon's Extract is an elemental type Imperial Arm that gives its user the ability to instantly freeze anything by reducing the kinetic energy of the atoms, apparently.
No, that checks.
That is insane.
That checks. That's good.
Its physical form was a chalice full of blood that you could attempt to drink to gain the powers. Many people that rose to prominence in the Empire were given the chance to try and consume this blood, and once they consumed a drop of it, a tattoo appeared on the user's body. But the tattoo matches the marking that you see on the front there. But there was a dangerous side effect. It caused the user to hear voices that drove them mad if they didn't possess a strong enough will to resist them. And no one had a strong enough will. And so great champions of the Empire kept trying to unlock it and failed and just fell to madness and death. Until one character in the show, of course.
It's a child.
Nope.
No.
She is the main villain of the show. We see someone who is quite literally already a psychopath and fucked up in the head and terrifying, gain enough repute among the Empire to attempt to claim this treasure. And they do. And they were able to resist its maddening effects. They made one big choice, however, which who knows if it was the mistake of the other people or not, or if it was just her being crazy. She assumed that the amount of blood that she drank from the vial would determine the power level. So she emptied the whole thing.
Okay.
And drank all of it. Meaning that no one else would ever be able to claim this power. Demons.
That's why it's off the table, Jude, because it's all gone.
Kind of based, though.
Kind of based. So Demon's Extract can't be removed once applied, but once bonded, the user is able to completely freeze anything in an instant and is able to summon and manipulate ice, even without a nearby water source. The user is also rendered completely immune to harm from any temperatures. For specifics, supposedly it is granting the user the ability to conjure and create ice out of nothingness instead of simply freezing and manipulating water in the atmosphere. And that's kind of how it looks. Like, she just summons ice sometimes, but also she'll look at someone and just freeze them.
Damn, she must be cold.
Yeah, she is. We see this used to perform feats such as freezing an entire lake in an instant in order to use the frozen surface as a makeshift bridge. And we also see that she was able to create large pillars of ice to throw at enemies, with understandably devastating results. I'm going to spit through the back end of this, because Demon's Extract is one of those Imperial arms that possesses no trump cards or specific abilities, but the psychopathic wielder just manages to create a whole bunch of different techniques that she uses. So I'll just go through this Spitfire, and then you guys can laugh, cry about it at the end. So some of the techniques and feats that we see. You used to use the ice to generate additional weapons, such as ice knives, swords of various length and thickness, and a massive morning star adorned with spikes.
Okay, fine.
Create a giant spiked battering ram made out of ice that she then used as a blender to butcher an entire rebel army while rotating it at high speed. Create a giant tree of ice capable of shooting large ice spike-like projectiles. Give herself levitation through rings of ice around her body and then make them float because she can manipulate ice. Lower the temperature of her surroundings to slow her opponents. Create several icicles from air and fire them at her target with a simple hand gesture. Create a giant horn of ice from thin air to pierce her target. Generate replacement limbs if she lost one. Generate shields and generate a full giant suit of ice armor.
At that point, just generate ice inside the person's body and just fucking explode them.
She kind of does. She just kind of freezes someone up and they...
Yeah.
So if this person can kill me instantly, has a bunch of defense, can fly, and has a number of other functional utility ways to deal with basically everything else, I'm assuming that this is not a, we see them every other week type of villain. This is we see them once and it's the worst thing that happens to these guys.
We see them a lot in the show, but the assassins are like, we avoid her at all costs.
Yes.
And there is a lot of cat and mouse around this character, like, we need to lure her over here so we can fight here.
Okay, correct operating procedure. Yeah. This is not a character you would ever fuck with.
No, exactly. And she's fucked up. She has a trump card that she's created herself.
I thought you said didn't have a trump card.
She created one.
Nice.
Through unlocking techniques.
This
is the fun one. Mahapadna, which is a Hindu word for like bliss or like salvation, I think, something like that. This ability of Demon's Extract would allow you to freeze space and time. Slow. When used, space and time are slowed to the point of freezing, and the user can move normally for a short period of time.
What do you mean space is slowed? Just time.
Take energy out of it.
That's not how space works.
Wait, are you overreading this loosely written magic thing from a random series? That wouldn't happen.
Yes, that's my job.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. So what do you think of Demon's Extract?
Fucked up, stupid goddamn thing. The rest of these have been like pros and benefits, nice, interesting like trade-offs. This is just like she has ice powers, and those ice powers can do whatever the fuck she needs them to.
Yep.
If I'm thinking about it, I guess slowing time is the next step of a freeze weapon. if you think about it, she's freezing and slowing down in 3 dimensions already. She's just extending that to the 4th dimension, which would be slowing time itself. It would more be kind of... So is she fast? Everyone else is slow.
Not fast, but she kind of moves normally.
Does everyone else like know time? Like, is they like conscious? They're like, no. Do they
No,
perceive it?
they kind of feel it slowing down,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it'll just be like a blink for them.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's fucking powerful. Yeah.
It's very
Fucking
powerful.
Crazy.
Yep.
Fucking insane.
So that's that one.
That's crazy. That's
I am-
fucked up. Unbelievable.
I have one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shit, I've forgotten it.
That's
Continue.
okay. The last 2 that I was kind of a maybe. You got your question back?
Sorry, I've got my question back.
Go ahead.
This is how
2
my
people
brain
on
works.
this desk having ADHD is not worth it for them.
I was saying it's interesting. You said the anime is about like capitalism, right? Capitalists?
No.
Is that what you said?
No, it's about the monarchy.
The monarchy.
I mean, it's, I guess, kind of, but it's not like...
What was the word you used? You
was
used,
Rebellion.
It was
No.
about a rebellion fighting against a corrupt empire.
used a word that was similar to capitalist. Maybe
I said like the capital, as in like the capital that they're fighting in, as in the capital city. That's
you
the
used
only,
a word. Don't worry.
That
about
is
it.
the only word that I used.
You did. It doesn't matter.
I've got it from my script now.
We'll take it to the tapes, gentlemen. Let's deal with this later.
I said wicked capital elite. I said extremely corrupt capital. I said noble family.
I might have
And
misheard capital elites.
I reckon that's probably it.
Let's go.
That's fine.
It's all right. Tell me about how much you hate capitalism anyway. No, please.
I was thinking it's an interesting metaphor of someone who, instead of sharing a resource that could be spread, she takes it all, like hoarding all of it. But if it's not about that, then I'm reading into it too much.
That's good.
No, it
I
is.
like
It is
that.
kind of a part of her character. She is very much like a, I take everything for me, and why would I think about anyone else? That
Kind of
makes no
also
sense.
represents the monarchy there.
Yeah.
As well.
Interesting.
Just an interesting metaphor of powers metaphoring the theme, you know?
100%. So that is Demon's Extract.
Yeah.
We'll go into another interesting one that comes up a bit, and that is the Shambhala.
Shambhala.
Very cool.
Guy, would you like to describe Shambhala
Have
for
I gotten
us?
like 3 in a row? Am I going crazy?
No. Oh, you just did the Demon's Extract, didn't you? Sorry, Matt. Would you like to describe Shambhala?
Hey, I'm trying to get us back on track right now.
This is so funny.
Matt, tell us about
That's where every time we've got it wrong.
Matt, tell us about the Shamalama Ding Dong.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
Shambhala.
Shambhala. Okay. Looks like kind of like maybe like a stopwatch in a weird way. Like something it's the size of basically your palm. It's kind of like, what is that?
It's a pendant.
A pendant. Yeah, a large pendant. It's and it has a hexagon shape on the middle with a circle in that, which is the circle is a dark purple with black in the middle, and it kind of shows. It's split into 3 sections, what look like 3 basic flames with a big circle in the middle and 3 circles, a single circle in each of the 3 sections that come out.
Yeah.
The hexagon has spiked corners, and the pendant is quite thick. It's made of steel, and one of the watch face that's outside of the circle, the purple circle, is kind of white. It also has a little, handle on one side of it where you can grab it or like hook it on something.
Yeah. So Shambhala is a support type Imperial arm that takes the form, as Matt said, of a hand-sized pendant. It is capable of spatial manipulation and allows its user the ability to manipulate space, letting them teleport people and objects over large distances.
Let's fucking go.
That's useful.
It's a teleportation remote. This one is a bit different between the anime and the manga, and I couldn't find lots of information from the manga, but I could find good information and good visuals from the anime, so we're going to focus on that version of it. So I'm going to focus on this, and Shambhala in the anime displays the ability to teleport the user to places they had been and left a marker. So they leave a kind of spiritual marker with their pendant remote, and they could then, in rapid succession, bounce between parts that they've marked. So you can kind of preset a whole bunch of teleportation places.
Is there a limit how many?
No. There does not appear to be a limit of how many markers you can have at once. The user, has often used this ability to travel somewhere really far away, leave a marker there, and have it as like a banishment Mordekaiser League of Legends send them to Brazil kind of thing, where like, oh yeah, I've got that marker on that random island I took a boat out to once. Bonk.
So is it like I see you, I point it at you, I teleport you?
If you're trying to teleport someone else, the portal has to open underneath them.
So it opens a portal.
Yeah,
It's not like a blink you teleport.
Well, it's different. Let me go.
Sorry.
The way that you affect other people with to teleport people or objects, you have to open up a portal beneath them and they have to fall through it. So depending how much you catch someone off guard or on guard or not, they might just not get teleported by
Also,
you.
they can fly.
If you're teleporting you just press
You just button and you blink.
And if I'm holding a person? with me?
They have to fall through with you. So where you kind of go.
So if it's anyone else, it has to be a portal.
Yeah.
How large can these portals be?
Not really seen too much of a limit. Big enough to fit a couple of people at once.
Okay, if I want to take a cart with me, can I make a big portal to fit a cart as well? So
probably.
objects can come as well.
Yeah.
But we're dealing with like 5 meters, 2 meters, 3 meters.
Let's say 3 meters.
Okay,
That's
that makes
probably
sense.
the biggest we see in the show.
3 meters, 5 feet. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So the one thing with this is it all depends on where you've previously marked.
Yeah.
So this person fighting them on their home turf is fucked because as we see in the show, when they get ambushed by this guy infiltrating the city that he's based in, you see this brief second where all of his markers kind of shimmer. Obviously, it's more done for the viewer's sake than the characters being able to see it. And you see that the city, ground, walls, air, because you can leave the markers in the middle of the air to have points to pop out from, there is just thousands of markers all over the city. So if you try to fight them on their home turf, they're just going to be bouncing around like a ping pong ball.
Can anyone see a marker? Is like
No,
visual?
no, you can't see it. Like I say, it was done. They shimmered for the viewer's effect, like I said.
I was going to say, if anyone can see them, you could literally set...
Yeah, of course.
Like,
No.
you could set up a trap.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of...
Exploit
Yeah.
question.
Yep.
If I set up a marker in midair, can I just mash it and fly?
No.
Cool.
You keep teleporting to the same place. How would you get to the next place?
I don't need to. I just need to hover. It's just that I can be up in the air and just keep... Because if I'm out
That's
doing a watch
fair.
out or something like that, you know, if I have my castle and it's like, the enemies are coming, I'm like, oh shit, I got to get up to the air and just like pop up into the air for a minute. I guess you can do that and then
You
just
could
like...
no, you could definitely do that by
Conservation of momentum.
if you have a marker in the air above your castle, you could teleport to that marker, poke your head out, you'd be like falling, and then you could teleport to another one.
Yeah, how many teleport? How quickly can you teleport?
Depends how practiced you are. There is a throwaway line in the show from the user where he goes like, I used to not be able to travel in rapid succession. It used to make me feel sick, but I've gotten quite good now. And then goes like fucking pew, 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 like a ping pong ball.
Yeah,
So,
no, that's
So like
good. That's good upgrade.
one
Yeah.
per second-ish.
yeah.
Actually, no, 1, 2... No, more like 2 per second. Damn.
Probably like 2. But when you get better at it, yeah.
Nice. That's very functional.
Love that.
This thing does have a trump card.
Ooh.
I don't know how it happened, but he appears to have the ability to teleport his target to the far reaches of space and then
Nice.
close the portal behind them.
Nice.
And that is it.
That's so mean.
It's mean.
Yeah.
It is mean.
So yeah, it's pretty fucked. If you fall through that portal and the drawback we see with this trump card, the portal appears to stay open for a little bit longer. So while it's a pretty hard one to get someone to go into in the middle of a fight, but if you're able to stun or paralyze them for a second, you could get them really good with this.
It's a banishment.
It's a good banishment, but at the same time, you have to be prepared for them to not just immediately come back through the portal, because there'll be a few seconds where the portal's still open, where if they can fly or shove themselves through, they might be able to crawl back out
I was
of the
going to
portal.
say, I think, this is a struggle against flying enemies.
100%.
They wouldn't even fall through the portal if they can fly. They might just be like, suck it.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool. Then the final one that we'll talk about before I ask you guys the big questions is another katana called March of the Dead Yatsufusa. Guy, would you like to describe as much as you can see of this katana? It's really just
Okay.
the hilt and handle. The rest of
It's
it's just a blade.
standard-looking katana. Blade looks normal. Everything else looks fine. Main difference we're seeing is on the hilt, where the hilt has a red crossguard and a black sort of body with another red tip on the base. And down the side, I can see what something's ticking in my brain for something in Japanese culture to do with sheets of paper. It looks like we went to this shrine in Japan and there was like an animal with a thing with a hole in it that had lots of sheets of paper with the vertical writing on it. It looks almost like a prayer or like a blessing sort of sheet of paper down the side with an amount of writing on it. I'm not sure quite how to describe it better than that, but like a vertical strip of paper with a piece of writing down that black side there.
Fantastic. So this item is an imperial arm in the form of long katana with the power to reanimate and control corpses of its defeated foes. This blade-like weapon is able to control the maximum of 8 corpses of those it has killed. The user can also manipulate the skills and abilities the reanimated corpse had in life. The bigger the foe you kill, the stronger the puppet you've got. The puppets are known to retain their habits, desires, and traces of personality that they had in life, sometimes enabling the user to utilize these to their advantage. However, you don't appear to have any... They are not living. They don't have, they're not talking to you, they don't have emotions, but there may be some personality traits that come through in the way they act under your control. However, this does come with 2 drawbacks. They might hesitate, and they won't have the ability to grow beyond the point of death, in the sense where killing someone, reanimating them, and then trying to command that puppet to kill their brother or their love, they might hesitate, they might not follow your command. And the not being able to grow beyond the point of death, in the sense where the skills that they had at the point of death, that is what they've got as your puppet. So if you kill someone, they're not going to keep learning. That's it.
Like if you kill Guy, he's going to stay bronze in League of Legends. He's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Such bad news to you, my guy. I have played League of Legends for 4 years, and I have not a single time booted up a ranked match. I have never played ranked. I will not allow it to take up that part of my life. I do not want to know how good I am at the game, or more likely, how bad I am at the game.
So on this, for each puppet the user actively controls, they do become weaker until their maximum point of 8, at which point their fighting ability is pretty much diminished, and they're basically just going to be kind of sitting on the ground, like mental controlling everything. If a puppet is destroyed, it does immediately cause the user to release control and regain some of their strength back. So it's kind of just like splitting yourself across different people. The puppets, we'll talk about a couple of them, and I have some photos. But just to give you a bit of a vibe, so the first one I don't have a photo for. That is someone named Natala, who was formerly one of the user's childhood friends, who used to be in the same assassination group as her, and then when he was threatening to leave her, she killed him and keeps him as a puppet.
Okay, so she's fucked up.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, cool. Glad we established that.
The next one.
I think usually people who have necromancy powers.
No, like 100%, but also sometimes you do get like people just being like, oh, I only do animals or I only do bad guys, and I put them in cute hats or something, and like that's still sadistic, but it's in a different way. Whereas this person is like, I will kill my friend because they were going to leave me.
So
it is presented as a, what if someone with separation anxiety had the ability to stop people being able to leave them?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. One, if you kill someone, is there a time limit before they dissolve back?
Like the puppets?
Yeah.
Once defeated, the puppets are lost from your control.
Yeah, no, but there's not a time limit. Like it's not like it lasts like 5 days. They say it forever.
When I have a puppet,
when you've got
Until
a puppet,
destroyed.
it's yours forever until destroyed.
Okay.
forever until destroyed. That's the first part. Forever was the
Forever
part.
until
So they're
destroyed,
also like they don't, because they're killed. They're dead. They don't turn to skeleton. What is it? Decompose.
But it's not. So I think what Matt's getting at is like I don't think every fight doesn't start off as like a game of like I have to find the weak enemy so that I can get them to then
Puppets,
work
yeah.
my way up. It's like you come in with some guys already there from your previous fight.
You summon them with the sword.
That's
Yeah.
so helpful to understand.
That's so much useful. That's
Okay,
so much
that
more-
makes a lot of
So you don't-
difference.
Okay, that's so much more useful. Okay, so they come out of like shadows into the.
Yeah. They
Okay.
kind of, yeah.
Oh my god, that's so okay. So
Their
like-
soul is stored in the blade. You summon them into physical being.
Oh my God,
and
that's
as
so
long
much
as they're
better
not
than
destroyed,
described.
they'll return to the blade.
Gotcha.
Sounds easy for storage as well.
Yeah.
Like, hey, imagine like you're trying to get rid of necromancy in D&D. If you have a bunch of skeletons, they have to come with you everywhere.
Yep.
It's so annoying, you know. Can I kill a big dragon and do that?
We'll get to that.
Ooh,
I'm going to run through the rest. You're going to have questions. Just let me get through the rest
For
of
sure,
these
for
points,
sure, for
and then
sure.
you can ask questions.
sorry, I
'cause
thought you
it'll
were
probably
done.
be
My
answered.
apologies.
So that's Natala. We don't have a photo of. One we do have a photo of to give you a bit of an idea of how some of them look is Doya, who was a former assassin of the Norman tribes who dual wields pistols. That's just what she looks like
Yeah,
as a
she looks
reanimated
normal.
corpse. She just
Very
looks
normal.
normal, which is kind of spooky. Because talking wise and personality wise, she's very like blank, but looks wise is very normal. The interesting thing with her as well, she has at one point her arms cut off, but not destroyed. So she's able to still keep going as a puppet while the arms cut off, and they're able to graft on parts of another corpse to make her back into like still able to fight.
Wild.
And then she keeps those grafted arms when resummoned.
That's
Yep.
wild.
Because destroyed is a very is a term that can be used many ways.
I don't know is the answer to the question you're about to ask, because it's pretty vague.
Because
we see
some zombies can have their head chopped off. Some zombies can't.
We don't really see an exact definition of what destroyed counts as in the show.
But if I chop a head off, usually it works.
Probably. Maybe.
I don't know.
The
how
only
I-
ones we really see destroyed get literally blown up. So
Okay, yeah,
Nice.
that is destroyed.
I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like this is a lot of investment in like a person that can dual wield two guns. Like, why bother with that? And why not just get like a fucking gorilla or something? Like,
Stop scrolling ahead. So the next one,
open the Komodo. This is the joke.
we're not up to him yet anyway.
No.
So the next one is a character called Run, who is alive and well for most of the anime, but apparently the manga doesn't have as good a fate, as he is a fellow comrade of the user of this katana that she kills and turns into one of her puppets. He, however, uses an imperial arm, which is a set of wings that let him fly. And even when he's a puppet, he is still wearing his imperial arms and still able to wield them. Which is terrifying, because if she killed another Imperial Arms user, she'd have that power. But the wings turn black.
Can she choose when she you might not know this because you might not have an example of it. If she dismisses someone, she goes, "You're dismissed." Do they just fall corpse dead?
They disappear. They like turn soul and go back into the blade.
And she did. What if she dismiss? Can she be like, "I've got 5, but I'm feeling really tired today. I kind of want to get rid of one." Can she just be like, "You are gone. Bye bye."
No, she doesn't. She can only summon 8 at one time. She can have any souls she wants stored in the blade.
Oh,
It's kind of like a Pokeball. It's like Pokeballs kind
That's
of vibe.
insane.
Yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah.
That's actually insane.
Because if you think about the amount of people that this person's probably killed in the past,
Yeah.
she can just go, all right, we need more people. I've lost a few. Cool, go.
I thought once you
go.
get over 8, you have to like choose which one you dismiss. Like in Pokemon, you only have 6 people in your party.
Nope, she has an unlimited party. She can just only have 8 out at once.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yep.
She's so good.
Yep. The next one is 8-Man.
Yay!
Which is
gorilla.
8-Man.
Special class danger beast that resembles a gorilla. It's just a big fucking gorilla with red eyes.
It's so cool.
And it uses brute physical strength to destroy its opponents. But just to give you a vibe of the kind of stuff she can summon.
It's uncanny as fuck. I might just say this
Yeah.
8-Man very quickly because it's a gorilla and very like recognizable. You know, the white chest, the black hair, everywhere else. But it is in the shape of a human's torso. Like, I know gorillas and humans aren't that different
No, it's a different
physiologically,
shape.
Yeah.
but it's a different shape, and that is
is.
100% closer to a dude than it is a gorilla.
100%.
I think the more thing is he's standing like a man.
That's
Yeah.
also true.
Whereas
yeah.
gorillas don't stand like that.
Yep.
He also has his red eyes, but also his ears are like bat ears.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Next one is not a picture. Is called Henta, who was a former survivor of a now extinct tribe. He was just a cool knife fighter. The reason I wanted to mention him is because this is where we find out some of the limitations of the personality that might stick around. He was able to be destroyed by someone using the Gaia Foundation to make herself look like another survivor of his tribe. So he froze up and wouldn't fight, and then was able to get cut to pieces from behind by someone.
Ah.
So like I say, the personality that they keep, while it's really useful because it means that like if they're an incredibly skilled fighter, they'll keep their fighting style. It also means that if you get them with the right thing, it might trigger a psychological response.
But also, we know that slicing up destroys them. That's a good.
Yeah, I mean, he just gets sliced into like 600 pieces. It's like kind of
it's destroying, yeah.
You see them get cut down, and then the camera cuts away, and you just see like.
Stop! He's already dead.
Yeah, so that's why I mean, like, it's kind of hard to. The only ones that we see get destroyed get taken apart so bodily that it's like, at what point did it count as destroyed? I don't know.
Technically, they're all already dead, but yeah.
That's destroyed.
Yeah.
Once again, propose. I don't see the downside to just having gorillas because they're not going to have PTSD and trauma.
Yep.
I might as well just have 6 gorillas.
It's more the problem that you have to go out, find that many danger beasts, and fight and kill those danger beasts
work
with
on
your
it.
sword.
I'll work on it.
Are you limiting the emotional range of a gorilla?
Yeah.
No, but I am simplifying their motivations.
The next one, which you can scroll down to, is a big
What
thing
the fuck is that?
called
this.
Death Tuggle, which was a superclass dragon-type danger beast that seemed to still have a fiery breath when it was summoned, and it was extremely powerful. And you can see how big it is, like at least 60 feet tall, towering above those people in front of it.
It is like building tall, like tall building.
It is
tall.
like a big bone dragon, but like a T-Rex kind of. It's terrifying.
It's Godzilla size.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something that you can do. And then the last one, because I just think it's funny, is the Kaiser Frog.
Nice. Frog.
It is a large frog danger beast that could control its long tongue. It also had incredibly powerful acid in its stomach. And its usual fighting style, because it was very slow, would be grab with tongue, put in mouth, and let them dissolve.
That's literally D&D giant frogs.
Yep.
He's basically the size of 2 people tall, and he is a big frog, and he's very cute.
Hey, real quick, Death Tuggle, full fucking top-sized monster. Is that just one of the 8, or does that's
one of the 8?
No additional concentration required?
I don't have an answer for you because the fight that she uses Death Tuggle, she's not using the full 8, so there could be some implied caveat there. But there is certainly no. Well, because the more she summons,
shuts down.
That's also true, actually.
and we see her still having to do a little bit of fighting with her katana against some people. Nothing that requires a huge amount of concentration, but she can't just be sitting there near catatonic.
Yeah, you can't go full 8 unless you've got a safe house nearby.
True.
On defense, you could use full 8 if you could lock yourself in a castle basement or something.
Yeah.
But
maybe you have good enough defenders, you could use full.
yeah, 100%.
Which she does do from time to time. But yes, that's what I mean. I don't have an answer for you on that.
No, totally fine. It's just fascinating to me that it's just like, yep, that's one.
I want to do full 8, but have myself in like a big chair and one of my 8s just carrying me.
Yeah, that's kind of what she does with the frog.
Really?
She just kind of like sits next to the frog, sits on the frog, like,
Oh, it's so cute.
come at me. But yeah, that's all the
But it
that's
also
all the
means you have to
Imperial
kill the
arms.
frog, which makes me really sad. Oh.
Yeah. That is all the Imperial arms that we're going to talk about. Of course, there's some much bigger, weirder ones that could have been put in, but this was a good number, I think. So, Matt,
Yes.
start with you, and we'll start with personal life. Which one would you like?
Interesting. We have such good options here.
There are a lot of options.
Such good options. So, you know what? There's a lot of times in my life I feel like I just need a really big gun, but I can't say that I'm going to pick pumpkin, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Gauntlets, the ability to fly, very useful. That is honestly pulling me towards that. Ability to fly, very cool, very useful. Having to have a gauntlet fist, also cool, but I can't see that coming up in my day-to-day life.
That's true.
Scissors, what do I need to cut in half? Doggo, oh, actually, maybe that's so cute. I was thinking Doggo I was going to dismiss, but Doggo is just so cute. His useful ability is not, but he's just cute as hell. But I can just buy a dog. I can just, you know?
This one's never going to die, though.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a selling point.
That's such a selling point. Dog death is very sad. That's hard. I think I have to not do dog though. There is one that's just pointing out to me that's just so useful in real life. Sorry, I was just thought about the cat girl again. But being a cat, I have to pick. I mean, foundation's useful in real life, but also that's just really manipulative. The teleporting.
Yeah.
The teleporting pendant.
It's too good.
It's too good.
Yeah.
Just have you ever seen the movie? I believe it's called Jumper. Literally, it's that.
Yeah.
You're what's the actor's name? He's Anakin.
Hayden Christensen.
He's Hayden Christensen. You
Yeah.
just be Hayden Christensen in that movie.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Guy, you?
For variety, I honestly, I mean, it's kind of obvious that it's
It's pretty
kind of
good,
the best day to day. There's a reason that people either pick shapeshifting or teleporting as their like main superpowers. They're the best ones. So Shambhala absolutely would be the pick. However, for variety's sake, I honestly think Lionel has a lot of benefits with not a lot of downsides. You get increases on all 5 main senses, increased strength, increased regenerative ability, which injuries day to day, not a problem anymore.
Yep.
Like, for the fact of how much it would increase your just like general well-being just for wearing a belt, and all I have to deal with is maybe having cat ears, that's fucking cool as hell.
Your
That's
girlfriend would probably
fine.
like that anyway.
She'd be into it. She's more of an anime fan than I am.
It's true. It's true.
Honestly, she'd be so. The only thing that she really likes the Sailor Moon thing. So I think she wants like that transformation sequence.
That's fair.
I think Lionel, like just baseline. I wear a belt and everything in my life is improved. No additional thing. Like, people aren't necessarily going to notice it. Like, teleporting's super obvious, I think. So in terms of being able to, like, day-to-day life, presumably I'm going to keep this. Like, I think Lionel's more likely to go unnoticed.
I also think, well, you do have cat ears and maybe a tail.
Doesn't, unless only if you go overcharge.
Okay, that's
Like,
fair.
day-to-day wearing it.
said
Am I correct in saying
said
that
a
just
lot of-
normal usage?
Yeah, just
I thought it was a
normal.
lot of usage might take.
A lot of usage, but it depends how much, like, how long you're keeping it activated for.
You can also one thing really useful about that, you can be able to locate people anywhere.
Correct. Like, there's
anytime,
so many
any
just, like,
sensors.
base functional things.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really useful.
Yep,
I
that's very
agree.
fair.
And you could transform into an animal to fly if you want to fly.
Like, and shapeshifting, animal stuff. Like, oh no, someone's like drowning. I'll just turn into a seal and go save them.
Yeah.
I like. There's so many different functional things. I'm late. I'll just turn into like a fucking hawk and just
How's the singer seal gonna help?
because big floaty animal that I can use to pick things up. I know a wild seal isn't very good as a lifesaver, but me as a seal, I'd be
I was
pretty
making
good.
a joke about the seal, the singer. I thought you
Kissed by a rose.
on a grave. You know the singer, Seal?
Seal.
The singer.
There's a singer called Seal. Are you mispronouncing Sia or am I going insane?
Nope, seal.
I've never heard of that person before. Don't worry about it.
That's all right.
Don't try and fucking educate me, man. I don't want to know.
I would probably say everyday
Sorry. Jude, what would you pick for everyday
Yeah.
life?
Hey,
You're
Jude,
right.
Jude, just I want to ask you a question. The guy
Just in
forgot,
reverse.
Guy forgot to ask
No, the
you.
Matt forgot to ask. Yeah.
I think to say something different to you guys, I think give me Koro and I'll have fun with everyday life.
What's Cora again?
Koro's the dog.
Yes. Good choice. Good
Because
choice.
don't get me wrong, I totally agree with you both, and just the general and same thing with like the Gaia Foundation. I would love the like turning into animal side of it, but I think that there's just too many things where I would feel morally bad about using in life.
Quick thing with the Gaia Foundation. Does it like physically change you?
Yep,
Okay, that's shapeshifting
it's
then.
basically shapeshifting.
Yeah.
I might go for Foundation then, to be honest.
I would never trust you again.
Well, but it's not like I'm going to use it deceptively. I'm just going to be like a hotter version of myself.
Okay, that's actually
You're already hot
It's
enough.
just base, and
I
there's no
think-
drawbacks, not even cat ears.
I think we are sleeping
and I
on-
can give myself cat ears if I want them.
I think we are sleeping a little on Crosstail because
I'm
Crosstails just scares me because I've seen
is
how
sca-
destructive
exactly.
this
I was
thing
going
It
to
is a
say
little scary.
Crosstail's very damage focused.
yes, it's very scary.
So we'll keep moving.
Yes.
Zombie apocalypse. We'll start at my end this time and work backwards.
yes, thank you. Um,
I am going to say that. Look, there's a really easy pick here, really, really easy, and that is Demon Armor and Curcio.
no, you can't get bit. You can't get bit.
That's fair. Okay, and
And
invisibility.
it means invisibility against other survivors. My armor is going to be immune to conventional weapons fire. I'm going to be able to wade. I get to live out the fantasy of wading through a horde of zombies, spinning my spear around, and there is no harm that's going to hit me.
Okay,
Sounds like a big fucking win to me.
that is a pretty big win.
Guy.
I kind of have two answers.
Yeah.
And one of them's the boring one, in my opinion. But also, functionally, Hecaton basically means I can sit back and not have to worry.
The
'Cause
dog,
I'll be
yeah,
like,
true.
oh, the zombies are coming towards my house. Hey boy, go get him. And then
Yeah.
I sit there and drink my instant coffee and enjoy myself.
That's fair.
However, combat-wise, I think we're sleeping on Pumpkin a little.
Oh, 100%.
Really?
Because
Interesting.
realistically, the more danger you are in, the more offensive effectively it is. So swarms of zombies surround me. My power increases to be able to challenge that particular
Go
foe.
on to multi-shot.
Correct. And I'm taking down swarm. I'm dealing with other survivors. Someone's
fair.
breaking my home. Sniper rifle. Shotgun. Gone.
Sniper rifle at a close.
Don't worry about it.
Dude, I've hit some fucking no-scopes on CSGO. It's an effective
No, I agree.
weapon.
I agree.
Yeah.
High
Matt?
caliber works no matter what range.
Matt?
Ooh, I think a couple options. I think you guys are.
You got to give me 1 or 2 max.
Okay, I think you guys are sleeping on the demon sword, the sword that allows you to bring people back, because you now have without being your one person, you have entire combo of people that can be your defense against the hordes. But I will go for Hecaton. Different reason, actually.
Yep.
Okay.
I think, yes, he's a good defense, but one sad thing about the zombie apocalypse is company.
It's true.
You get a friend.
So true.
You get a friend for the entire... And
Same thing with the katana, to be fair.
it's like the Fallout vibe of going through the wasteland with a dog companion.
I
It's just
getcha.
such a vibe.
Well, I'll be happy in my invulnerable demon armor with the voice of the demon in my head.
Yeah, you're right. I will say one thing for Murasane that I'm not sold on. One of the...
Oh, wasn't that sword? No, not that
Oh,
sword.
no, sorry.
I meant
Not Murasane. I know what you mean. The final one.
Yatsu,
I just
yeah.
scrolled to the wrong
the
image.
necromancy sword.
Yatsufusa?
Yeah.
Yatsufusa?
Yatsufusa, I think.
Whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is. That sword. I agree with you that it's a good idea because you have that sort of sub thing. The only thing I'll asterisk, you still have to be in contact to kill them. So if you're using zombies, you've got to get near to them.
The first couple, yeah.
And
It'll be
that's
tough.
you still have to use a katana. Secondary thing, the reason that it's so useful in this anime appears to be because of the number of danger beasts and also the other effective fighters around you.
That's fair.
Zombie apocalypse, you got a bunch of zombies and a bunch of dickheads running around with a gun.
I'm gonna give those dickheads guns, yeah.
That is, no, I agree. That is the one problem that I have with Yatsufusa. It's not great for these contexts because, oh boy, my horde of zombies, I've got 8 zombies that I killed to fight back against them.
I mean,
Yeah.
asterisk,
Yeah.
spoiler alert, I'm going to put it up for Hunger Games, though, because realistically, having a bunch of other people to fight in the Hunger Games where one of the main issues you have is survival and getting damaged.
Well, it's kind of difficult to say for that one, and that is because we'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Matt, starting with you, Hunger Games.
I'm bringing... Again, very tough. But for a situation where I need to kill everyone around me and I still want to live my life after this Hunger Games, it's not a sacrifice to the death. It's not like a last stand kind of thing. If I want to win the Hunger Games, can Crosstail cut through the demon armor? That's my question.
Not cut through, but restrain, yes.
I think because of how difficult you said Crosstail was to use, if I don't have time to train with that, I'm bringing the demon armor. Yeah. I can use that, and I can afford to get a mistake. They hit me, and I can afford to keep fighting.
Yep.
The demon armor, I think, is the best for that. That, or you go with Pumpkin and you snipe everyone.
Well, yeah,
but
true.
you said it gets more powerful when they get closer, so that's the tough. I'm going with the demon armor because I think that's the best one.
That's fair. Guy?
I'm going back to Lionel, baby.
Yeah, Lionel
Just
is
for the
really good.
sheer fact of the regeneration, just for the sheer fact of that, like, beast mode. Like, there's a lot of functional stuff in there. Will say, special mention, as said, to fucking... Oh, I scrolled past
Yatsufusa?
it. Yatsufusa. Just because of the idea of, I basically have to kill one person, and, like, I'm not set. There's still a chance that my controlled puppet does it, but I can throw them at that fight with all of my might. Ooh.
I would especially
No wrench in my works.
You have to kill one.
I have to kill all of them, actually, because the only ones that you can control are the ones you kill with the sword.
Yeah.
If someone who you're controlling with the sword kills someone, you don't get that person.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I guess special mention the foundation. It could be a really good surprise weapon.
Oh, yeah, that's my immediate pick is Foundation.
Really?
That or
Peter,
Lionel.
baby.
That or Lionel. Simply because if I disguise myself as a little birdie, I can fly up anywhere I want, and then I can just be ready to kill someone very easily.
I'm retconning my answers, actually. We're sleeping on Ultra Mesh. The fact that you can remote call down
Adrenaline.
lightning.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Smite!
Could you imagine cornucopia. Everyone rushes in.
It's the best.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Plus the fact you can fly. Anything goes wrong, I'm just like, I'm out of here.
This is
okay,
very true.
we're
This is
definitely
very
sleeping
true.
on what is
Yeah.
it?
Aldramech.
Adramelic.
Adramelic?
Adramelic.
I
We're
was
definitely
swinging
sleeping
for
on
the hills,
Adramelic.
baby.
But yeah, there's a bit of a taster of Akame Kill.
Do you know what I respect in this set? There wasn't, like, there were good ones and bad ones with drawbacks and stuff, but, like, all of them have their uses. I can 100% create a scenario in my head where each of them are the most useful, apart from the scissors. But that's just...
What if you're in a room that is made of the material that nothing can cut through except the scissors?
Well, then you're in luck.
You're so
Or
right.
you've got hedges to trim.
You're so right.
Yeah.
That's
Not
what I
going
need
to trim them
scissors.
hedges with foundation, are you?
Yeah, no, you're right. No, yeah, you're right. I was trying to think that there was more layers there. No, just what you said was correct.
There's no, like, pruning animals. I'm trying to think of a way around it. It doesn't really work.
Maybe if you've got bear claws, you can might be.
That's just a more inconvenient way of doing it.
But yeah, that's Akame Kills Imperial Arms. It's cool.
I'm being convinced.
I enjoy. If they sound like fun to you, it is like it's literally like a 20. I think it's literally 24 episodes. They're like 20 minutes each episode.
That's bingeable.
It's so
seems fun.
bingeable. It's a really fun show to binge. It's a bit full
8
on.
hours of content.
Yeah, it's not. I literally recently, when I was having to paint up some models for a tournament, I literally rewatched this on the side while painting over the course of like a fortnight, and it just went by.
Yeah.
It's good.
Nice.
It's good fun.
Yeah, you know, also fun and quick. Our minisodes on Patreon.
This is true.
They're very fun, quick stuff, and you can join our Patreon today. And any tier, you get access to everything we have on Patreon. Higher tiers get things like a request on episodes and juicy stuff like that. But stuff like minisodes and scripts, all access at the minimum tier. So anything you can give us and become a lore keeper today is amazing.
And if you don't want to give us anything, instead want to take stuff from us, take some more juicy stuff from us, head over to TikTok, head over to Instagram, head over to YouTube, head over to Patreon. I'm going to read.
No.
We are on other platforms, but to be totally honest, the ones that I just listed are the ones that we're actually active and posting on.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, baby.
I have nothing to promote.
I have a final thing that I'm going to start adding onto the outros here. Oh, sorry, go.
Yeah, but you know what the best thing they can do?
Yeah.
Is share with their friends and tell
This is true.
and tell people to use it and rate us on Spotify or iTunes.
I got a new thing that I'm going to... Oh, we do have to do the stars, actually.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that.
My
I'm waiting. You were about to say another thing there.
Well, but another thing I want to start putting into the outro, this is a live thing I should talk
Oh,
to
yeah?
the boys about before. If you were enjoying us picking and choosing from a list of various options and mocking each other for our choices, perhaps listen to the Ben 10 episode where we discuss which of the monsters is in fact the best for helping out with an Ocean's 11 heist.
This is true. This is true.
You can also leave there's new thing on Spotify. Leave a comment down below.
Yeah.
And
They can
we'll talk to
comment.
you. We can
Comment what your choices would be. I'm
Yeah.
intrigued. I'm
Yeah,
interested.
roast us. Just
if you
fucking
have a
annihilate
way
us.
better take, go for it.
And if you know
And why.
Can't make a kill, fucking comment the other
Tell
ones.
me
if there's
why-
ones we haven't been covered.
Tell me why I should have talked about the Emperor's Grand Imperial Arm, the best one.
Tell me why ain't nothing but an heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a pumpkin, if you know what I mean.
The number of stars you get are the number of choices of weapons. I don't know. This is a weird one. Well, God, what are we going to do?
You rat. I literally said before I have one that I want to do.
No, I'm so sorry.
You rat.
Tell me what yours was. I fell
The
flat on my
number of
face. Pick me up,
stars
baby.
you give us is the number of unique techniques you create for your Imperial Arm.
Oh, great. Great
See,
choice.
that was fine because guy set the bar really low. And
He
you smashed
stumbled
it.
so I could fly.
There, exactly.
Can I cap yours? And at 5, you get to choose your own trump card?
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
No.
Jude said no, guys. Sorry. Pack it up.
No,
But you can still give us 5 stars anyway.
the number of stars you give us is the number of divine danger beasts. I think you can take at once.
Yeah.
'Cause I believe in you.
And as you look at your 8 puppeted companions of friends you killed along the way,
Oh my god!
and they tuck you into bed, they will whisper to you, good night.
As you command the thunder with your fists and smash them together, you see the morning and greet it with a smile.
And as you stride through your day proudly adorned in cat ears, tail, and paws, have a great afternoon. and enjoy your time. I don't know.
So with the cat ears, right? There's this weird. So I was saying that she like takes on some of the like animal behavior. Yeah, there's some weird. Like when she first meets protagonist boy, she like licks him and goes, "I've marked you now," and it's really weird.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm gonna be so weird. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do butthole sniff.
You're gonna do butthole stuff?
That's butthole sniffing, like a dog, like a puppy.
I've lost all hope for this podcast. Thank you for listening to Living by the Law. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave a review, tell your friends, and if you're feeling extra generous, become an official lawkeeper by joining our Patreon today. Follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook at Living by the Law. All links are in the description, and thank you in advance. We have been, and always will be, living by the law. Thank you for your company, and good night.